Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody from all around the world, hello and welcome to another episode of The Worshipful with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. That's right, make some noise, clap it up, get excited wherever you are because we are back. And my gosh, we got a lot we need to talk about today because, hey, everything else is put on hold. Nothing else matters right now in the world of shoot boxing at the moment because the fight that we all thought was going to happen now is officially up in smoke, and the fight we never wanted to see now is right in front of our eyes for essentially the spectacle of the year. And I'm talking about Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul is officially happening. My gosh, my goodness, when I tell you, woo! Before we even get into that, hold on a minute. Before we even get into the topic, let me at least do the intro. If you're just tuning in, hello and welcome. I'm your host, Jean-Luc Welch. If you haven't already, go ahead and leave a like on the stream for us today. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Come join the empire with us. Come join this conglomerate, this monolith of a community that we're building together. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube, as well as be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. All with you and your support, we can make this thing possible and grow more and more. If you want to support the show, of course, Cash App and PayPal, links down below. While we're working to get monetization, anything we do, if you can support, means the world to us and helps us to make this show bigger and better. And be sure to listen to us on every podcasting platform, Apple, Spotify, you know, we're there. If we're not, tell us and we'll get there. Absolutely. All right, that's out the way. Now, lo and behold, we got people in the chat, like with Tay. Hey, what's going on, Tay? What's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Oh, I almost forgot. If you want to chat throughout the show on the topics that we talk about, be sure to put your chats in the comment section, and we can bring them up, no question about it. And we can make this whole. I want to hear your voice, your thoughts, your opinions. Again, y'all help make this show great. No question about it. I can do all the entertainment, but you all help make this show even better. You're the X Factor. You are the sixth man in the arena. And it's an incredible thing to see. No question about it. We appreciate you. But we got all that stuff out the way. And we ain't got no time to waste. We also got the championship rounds at the end of the show. But since we talk about boxing, hey, first and foremost, you know what it's time for? It's time to step into the ring. And Lord knows, we never thought it would be the day. We never thought it would actually happen. But my gosh, the nightmare has actually become reality. And Tank Davis is actually fighting Jake Paul. I can't. Oh my gosh. I mean, did I? And I'm going to try to keep my cool. I'm going to try to take it easy. I don't want to lose myself. Really don't. Nothing else is probably going to be talked about with this show today. Almost assuredly. We ain't got nothing else to talk about with this show that I got on the docket, because everything that I was going to talk about got wiped clean. All because of what we saw happen in the afternoon of, what's today? Thursday, Wednesday. When everything was going hunky-dory, next thing you know, the bomb drops. And we're here witnessing the world crumble before our eyes in boxing. And Tank is fighting Jake Paul. I repeat, if you still can't believe it, Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul on November. At least that's what I did with the date, which is insane. And this brings up so many questions. And before we even get into that, hey, I told you. Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you? Do y'all think I'm just talking? Y'all think I'm just yapping? Also, real quick, Also, real quick, Sergey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. So glad you're here with us today. We appreciate you coming in for the ride. And we're trust me, it's going to be a great show. Can't wait for you to see it. Yo, 3410, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Or sister, whoever's behind the keys. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to the show. Let me see what you guys say. Almost fell running to the comment section. As a big Tank fan, I'm so disappointed. Brother! Sister, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Did I not tell you, not over 3 months ago, when this whole Lamont Roach and Tank Davis situation was going through? I'm gonna brag for a little bit. I don't do this often. I don't go down this route often when it comes to talking about the world of boxing, but when it comes to what I say what I say, I do what I do. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't toot my own horn. I'm try to be humble. But let me tell you something right now. I told every single one of you that this brother, no matter what happens in that fight with Lamont Roach, is on the was one decision away from taking a fight with Jake Paul, win or lose. And when he lost to Lamont, we were all saying, oh, he needs to get back. And guess what? I still told you that this man, regardless of what could happen, or regardless of what we wanted to see, regardless of all the things that came up into 135, that all of a sudden, but essentially exploded onto the scene as talent everywhere. It was already a good division. It became a great division incredibly quickly with the likes of Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis. He's still others like De Los Santos and others still being in the mix. All of that, I told you that this man still could pick Jake Paul over everybody else, that it was a viable option for him to fight. And people looked at me crazy. People said I didn't know what I was talking about. Some people said I was ridiculous. Some people said I was hating on Jake. Some people said that I was going through and completely overblowing the situation. You can't tell Tank what to do. Tank's too big of a fighter. He can do what he wants. He's earned the right to do whatever he decides. You can't control the brother. Nobody's fit to fight the brother. Can't nobody beat him, so why you trying to try? Can't nobody make the money that would be worth fighting, so why even try to fight him in the first place? Because you ain't on Tank's level. What's wrong with you? You know he's the best at 135. How dare you say that this brother needs to fight some competition and to face somebody else? And why would you even think that Jake Paul is an actual option? Oh, it's a ploy. It's a joke. It's a facade. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do anything. You just trying to use fear. I was hearing all of that, and I stayed consistent. I doubled down. I did hour-long segments on that topic. On that topic alone, we went off the rails on shows talking about Tank Davis because of this very potential outcome. And people still didn't take heed. And now look at what you got. Look at what you have to deal with. Every single brother or sister that wanted to just vouch for Tank for every little thing, look at what it got you. It got you one of the worst fights of your favorite fighter's career, that even you, a supporter of him, cannot defend. And you can't hold your head up high. You have to look away in shame because you enabled this. You let this happen. You did not speak up when this brother was moving like Canelo, like Tyson Fury, when it comes to going and doing whatever you want and not actually going through and take the tests that we want you to take and that you need to take to validate who you are, letting them get away with being able to slide by with bum competition, people that don't deserve to be in the ring with them. You let them get away with it, and you let Tank get away with it. And you said it was better for the sport. And look at now what you got. Hey, look what you did. Look what you did. Look at what you did. You let this brother go through. You let this man do it. And again, I'm going to keep saying it. I told you that this brother would never, ever push himself to really be something. I told you. And people said I was ridiculous. And the reason why was because he doesn't care about legacy. I said that over and over and over again. People brought up the amount of, oh, look at all the former champions that he's beaten. Oh, look at all the champion, the people that he beat that became a champion. Oh, look at, he beat Pedraza. He beat Leo Santa Cruz. He knocked out Ryan Garcia. He's undefeated. He's done all this stuff. He's the current WBA champion. What do you mean this brother doesn't care about legacy? And I just kept on saying the same stuff. I just kept on saying the exact same doggone thing. Not because I wanted to. Because I was trying to warn you. I was trying to brace you. I was trying to wake you up and let you understand that if you don't mess with this brother's pockets, in terms of if you don't stop supporting, or excuse me, if you do keep supporting this type of stuff that goes on, you are going to end up with egg on your face. And you're going to allow for this brother to get away with highway robbery, the likes of which we even thought was beneath the very low bar to even take, was the likes of which that would over eclipse anything that we saw Floyd Mayweather do. The likes of which that we never thought we would see take place from the standpoint of a spectacle fight. Impossible. Yet, you see the title. You saw the notification, and you saw how the world reacted. Amongst everything else went on in the world, number one on Twitter. Amongst everything, took over Facebook. Text messages, phone calls, don't matter, television, everything. There wasn't a sole thing that wasn't affected and or notified from a standpoint of media that was not knowing that this was something ludicrously stupid, yet insanely big because of its stupidity. But people said I was crazy. But people said I was insane. People said I didn't know. People said I was too hard on the brother. People said I was just hating on him. People said that I was just going in on a dude who doesn't deserve it. And you wonder why I get so mad with this brother. You wonder why. You wonder why. You think I wanted to talk like this? Because I saw this coming. I saw it coming. And people kept saying, it'll never happen. It won't happen. They kept saying it will never take place. They kept saying nothing will happen. They kept saying that this is just a preposterous thing. Tank would never go that far. Yes, he would. But you got so blinded by your fandom that you didn't let yourself see the true aspect of what Tank is as a person. You did what he was about. I gave you receipts. I gave you clips. I gave you video. Quotes, everything possible to tell you exactly what this brother was going to be. I told you he was about the money. I told you he was not about the legacy. I told you he would compromise his own facade. I told you he would compromise his own words. I said it. I told you he was going to do all of this. I kept warning all of you. Every day, nearly every show, somehow Tank got brought up, and you thought I was just being belligerently a hater. Those of you who thought I was hating. Again, I'm not trying to brag, but I'm getting my stuff off because doggone it, brother, I'm hot. I'm right. Be clear, I'm right. And I was right. Clap it up for me, but doggone it, cut the clap short. I don't want to be right about this. You think I want to be right about this?
Hey, look at this.
You think I want this to happen?
We got some problems.
You think I'm excited that we're having this type of fight? This type of decrepit, ignorant, stupid slop thrown at our way on Netflix of all places. when it's supposed to be the biggest. There's so much stuff. There's so many conversations we can have about this. We gotta have a show. We gotta break some of it down. We're gonna start with why this is bad, first and foremost. Then we're gonna delve into the other ramifications of what this does to Tank, what this does for Jake Paul, what this does for the sport, and who is disqualified from what conversation now. And it's going to be everything that I said. I promise you. I promise you. You thought I was lying. You thought I was crazy. You thought I was insane. And now you see why I went so hard on Tank. First and foremost, now you see why I went so hard at Tank Davis, because I was telling you all that this man was going to move in a fashion, if you give him so much rope, the brother's going to jump. You keep saying he won't do it, and he did it. You kept saying you ain't going to do it, and he did it. Because you didn't do what I told y'all we do on this channel. And when I say you all, I'm not talking about people in the chat, the boxing public as a whole. Tank's fans themselves, you did not hold Tank's feet to the fire into pressuring him to not be able to get away with this type of stuff. You didn't hold his feet to the fire. You didn't keep the coals close to let him understand that, brother, without the legacy, you can't get the money that you want. You could have answered what you want. You could have answered with your outcome. You could have answered with your vocal voice. You could have answered with your support. Lack thereof would have been even better. But you kept on riding or dying for Tank. And you kept giving him slack. You kept letting him ride the rope. You kept letting him eke out more and more into the ledge. Or onto the ledge, rather. And you just said, he's so good, he ain't gonna do nothing stupid. And look at what he did. The stupidest thing he could have done. The dumbest thing he could have done, he did it without a moment's hesitation. Let's be real. Before we even jump into the topics of why this is bad. Actually, no, this will fall into the topics of why this is bad. Let me rephrase it. But before I even get into all of that, as to the first point of the show, why this fight is bad, let me read the chats down below, because we got a bunch of people coming in right now. Jake is the hip eater. Hey, look, brother, right now there's a number of names that you could call this brother right now, but that's tame. I tell you what, I remember you wanted Tank to fight Kid Austin. Absolutely. As much as I disagreed, I'd rather see that than this. You see what I was saying? Do you get it now? Do you get it now? Do you get it now? Yo, I wasn't naming these people, not because I thought Kid Austin was a talent of Tank, but because with the recent win, the brother now put himself in that frame of atmosphere that, okay, he is a game body that brings actual talent, power, and a threat level to the table that I would want to see Tank beat, though I think Tank would be able to beat him. Plain and simple, knocking out Tevin Farmer was a great thing to put Schofield in a prime position for those big time fights. We were saying that the brother he is now potentially going to fight the likes of Shakur Stevenson. Now that we know what Tank's doing now, it's there. The fight's there for him. He can fight Abdullah Mason. The fight's there for him. All of the people at 135 that we talk about now are on the same, when I say same level, I'm talking about while there are other people that are better than others, they are now either all champions or are all seen as the top in their division. 1 through 5, 1 through 6. Tank, as a talent, we perceive him as top 2. So anybody within that top 10 is viable to beat, more specifically that top 6, which is filled with the likes of Kid Austin, Abdullah Mason, Shakur Stevenson, formerly Keyshawn Davis, before all what we know happened. But you get what I'm saying. You get the trend now. Every champion and elite contender, all were the names that we wanted to see fight, and Schofield was one of them. And we just want to say, just beat him. We don't think Schofield can win, but beat him and prove where you are. All greats get those types of wins. You fight a good dude, he's not on your level, but it's still a good win because it's an actual good guy. That we recognize what his talent is. Like I said, every fight is not going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl or a affair that, oh, yeah, they're going to be able to we think, oh, yeah, they can beat you. You need to fight them. But even if we think you can't beat them, you still need to fight them because they are a viable test. That's all I was saying. But the buddy never did it, and now we see what happened. Also, Sack, what's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. So glad you're here with us on today. Well, Ninja, how you doing as well? Thank you for tuning in. Again, y'all getting a big laugh. Brother, you ain't even seen me mad. I'm disappointed. You ain't even seen me mad yet. Stay tuned. Give me about 5 minutes. You're going to see me hot. And for those of you who've been around here earlier, you've seen me hot before. Ironically enough, it was with Tank. But y'all ain't seen, I ain't mad right now. But I'm about to get there. I'm about to get there. Tank officially the biggest coward in boxing history. Yep, this is the veteran. The brother ducked, and I told you, the brother ducked every single form of viable competition out there. Which is why I did not hold the likes of Pedraza, Santa Cruz, Ryan Garcia, and others in the high regard, not because they weren't quality wins. Wins nonetheless, no context. There was something with each one of those wins, but still, he beat him. It was going forward. You were supposed to improve, and the brother went and regressed. And y'all thought I was playing when I said this brother, he wasn't going to be able to get back. Going backwards in talent as well as in weight. This time in talent in Jake and formerly in weight with Lamont Roach, both were problematic. But this one is way more egregious. Kingdom Within, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Hey, man, good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. So glad you're back right here with us on live. Boxing is literally a circus these days. It's so sad, and it's like, and here's the thing. As I'm gonna come back to this comment real quick and address it before we really go into the meat and potatoes of it all. Let me see. Vacay Smalls, what's going on, brother? What's good? What's good with you? How you doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. So glad you're here with us on today. Pretty soon, boxing won't have to fight because it will be. AI, look, I'm telling you, at this point in time, it's looking bad for the sport. I tell you what, but the Tank is. The amount of stuff I want to call Tank is a laundry list that would go down my driveway. I could, because I'm laughing because this is something that was this is such a code red type of situation that I never thought, though I knew it was going to happen. Even I was like, you know what? Maybe he won't do it. Maybe this will pass over. And lo and behold, I didn't want to be right, but doggone it, I was right. Tank fans be saying stop hating, get in the back. And look, hey, I'm going to address this as well. No question about it. Let me see for sure, what's good with you? How you doing? Thank you for tuning into the show. Let me see what you guys say. For the first and only time in my life, I'm going to root for Jake Paul to knock out that pound for pound fight. Hey, brother, look, man, I'm telling you, people are sick. People are sick of it. People are sick of it. They're sick of it. I'm almost, excuse me. And I'm going to tell you something right now, brother, I'm almost with you. Do you understand how bad this is of a fight? Let's delve into it. Using this point right here, do you understand that this is a literal lose-lose situation for the entirety of the sport? What? One, if Tank beats Jake, he gets the bag, and then most likely, sayonara, I'm gone. Goodbye. See you later. I'm out. Forget the division. I'm done. He will never make more money than he will make with this Jake Paul fight. He will never make more money than he made with this Jake Paul fight. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. He won't. I know he won't. I guarantee you he won't. We talk about he's a big star. The only reason why we talk about he's a big star, and he is. But his biggest paydays have only come against somebody else who is also a mega star in their own right. Now, I despise Jake Paul with everything in me from the standpoint of his actions and what he and as a fighter. I can't stand it. But still, the brother's he's gonna be a monumental payday. And once he gets that, he's gonna dip. And we're never gonna see him fight Shakur Lamont or anybody else. That's done. I promise you that's done. If I'm wrong about that, I will be shocked as can be. But I can almost guarantee that after this, he's probably done. He's probably done. We can probably we can wave that white flag now. It's over. It's over. It's over for that. It's over for that. It's stupid, but it's over for that. And what? And Jake Paul, yeah. Jake Paul loses to an actual boxer. Whoop-de-doo. And the brother finally said, okay, yeah, I'm done. Nobody wants to fight him anymore. He got beat. Playing someone got beat by a smaller guy. It's done. What many expect to happen should happen. Mind you, this fight shouldn't happen at all still because of the weight difference. But it's 200 pounds, fought at 236, came back down to 190. Have been fighting at 190 or close to the cruiserweight, or at cruiserweight, for the past 4 to 5 fights of his career. And he's fighting somebody 135. We're gonna delve into why exactly that's gonna make a big difference later on. But that can be problematic. But regardless of which, this brother, if Jake Paul loses, sure, Jake Paul's done, and then Tank's done. And we don't get the fights that we want from Tank. And Tank retires, and his legacy is tarnished. If Tank loses this fight, his stock takes a tremendous dip. Though the weight discrepancy would be the main reason why he would lose. Because it's a 200 plus pound brother punching you. Of course, yeah. If Tank gets caught by that, I don't care how tough you think Tank is. But if Tank ain't taking that. Almost assuredly, Tank ain't. But that's a heavyweight punch. Any heavyweight punching anybody that size is going to rock him. Of course. And if that does happen, brother, the amount of stuff that Tank's going to have go against him, you thought his pride was going to take a hit with a loss. But to let him get beat by Tank, you put this brother on a watch list. Put this brother in a straitjacket. But I don't know what that might do. I don't know. We know how about Tank's pride. He can't take losing. He can't stand losing. He's avoided taking tough fights because he doesn't want to lose. He said it himself. Now, all of a sudden, brother, with this type of situation, if he loses against Jake, of all people, y'all, if you're a fan of his, brother, you are going to dig your head in the sand and act like you never knew him. I promise you. I promise you. Because all that talk that you all talked about, if Tank loses to Jake, though again, it is possible because of the weight difference being almost 80 pounds. You won't have any, it'll be like that. You let Jake Paul beat you, Devin Haney would kill you. Shakur Stevenson would kill you. Abdullah Mason would put you in the hospital. Everybody would be. It would be horrible. It'll be terrible. And even worse than all of that, even worse than all of those situations, Jake Paul won. Do you understand what I'm saying? Jake Paul won, regardless of the outcome. What did I say roughly 4 months ago on this show, if you had been here? I said that Tank, or Jake Paul, his whole game plan was to go through with the boxing, become hated, become vilified, make people want to pay to watch him lose, beat bums, beat people that shouldn't be in the sport, beat old folks, continue the hate train, ruin an icon or beat an icon, and spit in the face of the sport by fighting Mike Tyson. And then afterwards, he's only got two roads that he's trying to do. Either he gets the fight with Canelo or he gets the fight with Tank. And then he bounces. That's it. I told you all of that. Or C, become a champion. Get a world title fight and lose. And then, I got to the level. I won because I showed you can do anything you put your mind to. You can do anything that you set your mind on. You can overcome anything. That stupid message that he keeps on saying every time out, though the message is the right message, it is a propagated inspiration. All only done for the lack of money. Or all only done for money. It's not real from the standpoint of his real intentions. He's not just trying to overcome the odds. He's stacking the deck every time he fights, but acting like, oh, I overcame this big thing. It's a facade of integrity. But the whole thing is, that is part of the backbone of why this fight with Tank is happening. Because who would have thought that Jake Paul would be fighting one of the best technical boxers in the world in Tank Davis when everybody said you're a terrible boxer in Jake Paul? Who would have thought you can do anything? This brother's a knockout artist. I'm risking myself in danger. All that mess. I told you months ago. Did I not tell you the plan? Did I not tell you the plan? Get a fight with Tank, get a fight with Canelo, and bounce. Or if you got enough momentum, go after a title at heavyweight and then bounce. If he ain't gotten the fight with Canelo, then it would have been done. Objectively, that was persona persona numero uno. That was the number one, but that's why he was getting ready to get that fight before Canelo used him as a negotiation tactic to fight against Terrence Crawford or get that 4th fight deal with Turkey Al Sheikh, with Crawford being in that deal. I told you. I kept on warning you. But this brother's doing it off of the facade of I'm an underdog. And yes, he is an underdog in the fight. We all think he's going to lose, but it's still, the deck is again stacked for him. And on top of that, it's an exhibition. It's not even a real official fight. But every other fight he's been in has been an official fight. Now, even with a 70-pound weight advantage, when you go up against actual talent, oh, it's an exhibition now. Oh, no, it doesn't count for the record anymore. Yet still, guess what? That doesn't matter, because whatever happens in this fight is what's going to be remembered. That's what's going to carry. It don't matter. Jake Paul or Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., that was an exhibition. Guess what we say? Tyson won that fight. We still say Tyson won that fight, though it wasn't scored. This fight isn't even sanctioned by any boxing commission because of the ridiculous weight difference that this is, yet they're still going for it, all because it makes money. It's a preposterous thing, yet still they let it go. It got me stuttering. It got me stuttering. I'm so hot. I'm so messed up. I'm so fed up. I kept on telling y'all this is what was gonna happen. I kept on telling you this was gonna happen, and now you see the reality. I kept on warning you all, and this is now what we have to witness. It's stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I am. Oh, do you understand? Do you understand? And again, do you really understand what the root issue with all this is? Do you really want to know? Were we not just saying, not even last week, were we not just saying last week that we were watching, we were wanting to see when was the fight with Lamont? Who was it? Y'all remember? There was somebody in chat, I can't remember who, and I love all y'all chatting, but somebody in chat kept saying I was lying when I said that fight with Tank and Lamont is off. Y'all remember that? People said I was lying when that fight with Tank and Lamont was almost assuredly done. And I kept telling y'all that. I kept reporting y'all that. I kept telling you what Lamont Roach was saying, what the rest of the boxing, the insiders were saying, what the information I could get was saying from looking at other people, other reporters, other people that actually have inside scoops. Because I ain't in the camps. I can only see what's being told at this point in time. Hopefully we get some, rub. Somewhere down the line. But regardless of which, I told y'all that fight wasn't happening. And people said, no, you're lying. Lamont, Tank ain't said it. It still happened. Tank hasn't said it. It's still going forward. Tank hasn't said the fight is off. Why are you saying the fight's off? And now you see why. And didn't I also say that we were going to give Tank some grace? Because the reason why that fight couldn't be made with Lamont was supposed to be because he was in jail? Do we not remember that?
Hey,
Do we not remember that? The reason why he couldn't make the fight with Lamont was because he was in jail. He had a domestic abuse case, and the brother's about to be locked up. And we said that the 6 months of legal trouble were the situation where we were saying, hey, he wasn't able to get the fight. Did we not? We even gave him grace for that. Lo and behold, less than 2 weeks out of jail, it's August right now. September, October, November. 3 months. But that fight, that it's November 14th is when that fight's happened. Did we not say that we could, did we not say that fight with Lamont could be rescheduled and needed to happen in December to end off the year? Did I not say that? Did I not say that now that you're out, now that you're free, there shouldn't be an excuse to redo the fight and reschedule something for November or December? Did I not say that? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm using the receipts that I said needed to happen. I said there's no excuse now. There wasn't an excuse before for that fight not already being signed by Tank. There wasn't an excuse before the domestic case for that fight not being signed by Tank for Lamont Roach. There wasn't. There wasn't even an excuse for in the midst of the domestic violence case, because apparently they were negotiating the entire time, going through and trying to actually make the fight the entire time. Shoot, from Jake Paul's own mouth, Tank Davis was trying, Tank's camp, which consists of Calvin Ford and others, were trying to get Tank to take the fight with Lamont Roach instead of Jake Paul. But Tank made the decision to go and fight Jake Paul himself. Did I not tell you every single time when this thing came up that Tank Davis is the one that was holding up this fight? And if he did not say it's a go, it wasn't a go, because no matter what anybody else said, he was the one that was signing the thing. And if he wanted the fight to happen, it would have already been signed on his end. It took 4 months of speculation of Willie Woney, and it took 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, for Tank to say, yep, Jake Paul, I'm here, and it's free. And this came out of left field. We didn't even know that was happening. It was the furthest thing from any of our minds. It was the furthest thing from any of our minds that this fight was going to take place with Jake Paul seemingly in talks with Anthony Joshua at heavyweight. This brother literally went from negotiating with Anthony Joshua 255 pounds all the way down to 135 with Tank. And this is the fight that he takes. And Tank actually said yes to it. Do you get my frustration? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? There's still more to it than just those things. Even just what I'm saying isn't even enough. Because there's so much more. We are in a mindset with Tank that this brother was supposed to go and actually try. And lo and behold, we let our expectations of what we think he could do cloud us from what he actually is. Cloud us in our judgment for what he actually is as a fighter. This is all Tank Davis's fault. Let me even not use his nickname. This is all Gervonta Davis's fault. Let me be clear. Let me get close to the camera. Let me make sure you make it abundantly clear. I am not putting any other blood. There is no one else as much as I got on the fans for holding Tank to this loose standard and never holding his feet to the fire. As much as I got on his particular fans, not actually wanting Tank to actually be great. And just taking his word for virtue instead of making it actionable. Holding his substance to water and see if he'll float. More than all of that, it is Gervonta Davis's fault that this fight with Jake Paul is happening. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. It is his fault that this fight's happening. It is his fault that he didn't sign with Lamar. It is his fault that everything we've seen him do throughout his entire career is what it is. It is nothing but Tank. Because I told you that Tank controls everything about what he does. He controls everything. There's not a thing that goes by that if he doesn't say yes, it goes through. He's got that much power. So if we see decisions get made, it's because Tank said yes. And he's been able to move like that oh so long. And now, you see where it got you. One of the most despicable, disgusting, abhorrent things we've ever seen in the boxing world. This is literally one of the worst things I've ever seen. This is actively, and I ain't saying I'm not saying I've been around for a minute. I'm not even saying I've been into boxing for as long as many other people. Definitely. But I'm telling you. This is one of the most laughable situations I have ever experienced in my life, and I'm hurt. I'm hurt, man. Let me keep on reading. No real Tank fans are happy right now. Hey, yeah, they better not be. They better not be. I tell you what, they better not be happy. They better not say this is good. There's not been a soul that can defend this. There's been an excuse made for every other fight that Tank has had. There's literally no, if you try to argue for this, you should not watch boxing. If you try to argue that this is good, you should not watch boxing. Now, I'm all for anybody enjoying what they like. But if you think that, but this is a bar, I can't have this. No. Even casual fans should not be wanting this fight to happen. Let me be clear. Even casual fans that don't know anything else about the sport should not want this fight to happen. They should. They absolutely should not. It's so despicable. Nerd, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're here. I'm just glad it's not Pacquiao versus Gervonta. At least now it's clown versus clown. Shoot, I dare say that fight would have been at least better on paper. That fight would have at least been like, okay, you're fighting a legend. Fine. Sure. It still shouldn't happen. And it would never happen because Tank, well, we thought, would never move up to 135. Would never move up beyond 135. Also, let's bring that up as well. Hold on. Let's bring that up as well. Were we not also saying that Tank would never move up to 135? Were we not also saying that Tank would never, and I mean never, move up beyond 135 because of Tank's own words. 140 is too big for me. Mario Barrios was a step too far at 140. Teofimo Lopez at 140, too big. Devin Haney 140, I can't do it. I can't move up and fight Ryan Garcia a second time. All of that. Did he not say that? And now he's fighting he's going to fight a fighter that on weigh-in will most likely be 190 pounds. Almost a cruiserweight. A cruiserweight. And on the night of the fight, it's going to weigh in most likely, unless it's a rehydration clause, above 210. He's going to fight a Jake Paul that's going to be, night of the fight, potentially above 210.
Hey, look at this. We got some problems here. We got some problems.
Depending on how the restrictions go. Max 200 or minimum 200. At worst, 210. Dare I say 220? We can see Jake Paul come in and like he was against Mike Tyson. If what he said on Ariel Helwani is true, and there are no weight restrictions. So I'm again, we don't have all the details in terms of how the weight is going to go, all that stuff. We can find out. I'll find it out later. But just for the reactions of it, at minimum, he's fighting somebody 190 pounds. But we said he couldn't fight at 140. He said he couldn't fight at 140. Did we not say he was a small brother? I said he's a small guy, but he's not a small guy. He's a small dude, but he can fight bigger than what his size is. Did I not say that? Well, I didn't mean this. And he most definitely didn't mean this, but he's doing it anyway. Tank Davis is a walking hypocrite. He's a walking hypocrite. The living embodiment of going back on your word. The epitome of lack of execution and inconsistency when it comes to what you say and what you're going to do. I told you all that this was the case. I told you. This brother continually just answers every single point that I'm bringing up. Not because I want to, but because I knew this brother continues to operate in the sense of money over legacy and ease over legitimate work. And it got to a point now where it is so far in left field that it's just, there's no accepting this. Be clear. There is no world where this fight should happen. Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul, that happened. That was an exhibition. No, I don't even think that was an exhibition. Wasn't that a real fight? Didn't that fight actually count for Logan Paul's record against Floyd Mayweather? And that one was indeed a weight discrepancy. But you know the difference, though? Jake Paul had never boxed a day in his life. And if I can, let me see if I can find the clip. Because I think Tank said this. Tank, where is it? Tank, if I can't find it, I'll quote it the best I can. If I can't find it, I will look up, I'll quote it the best I can and try to, and based on that, you can look up the clip for yourself. But it was either Tank or Shakur that said this. One of them two. And I think it was Tank that said it. If I'm wrong, please correct. But I believe Tank said this. There's a point in time, again, I'm paraphrasing. There's a point in time where if you can't fight, even if you're bigger than me, I'll whoop you behind. But if you're a trained fighter with experience and you're big like a heavyweight or a light heavyweight, a cruiserweight, nah, I can't beat you. Because at that point in time, because you know what you're doing and you got that much of a weight and size advantage up against me, though I may be better than you, I can't beat you because I cannot physically overcome those types of lengths. I can't move and get away from you because you're so big. I can't hurt you because you're too durable, because you're just so much bigger than me. And you know what you're doing as well. You're not just a bump like Logan Paul. I believe it was Tank that said that years ago in an interview when he was asked about could he be the heavyweight or how high up do you think you could fight and beat somebody. They brought up heavyweight and he was like, nah, I can't do that. If they experience, nah, I can't do that. I believe it was him that said it. Now he's going out, even if you don't like it, even if you don't think it's real, even if you think this is blasphemous, it's the truth. Jake Paul is a real boxer. He has been a real boxer for the past 2 years. We want to talk about when his skills have actually taken an uptick. He has stopped YouTube. He has stopped being a YouTuber. It's been 5 years of consistently the best trainers that money can buy, literally. And has nothing but been in the gym fighting and in the ring fighting every single year. Even if it's against bum competition, which is absolutely right. But we have notably seen he has gotten better. He is a full-fledged boxer, whether I like it or not. And I don't like it. I hate it. But it's the truth. And at that size, though, no, he's nowhere close to the talent. Brother, the fact that he's that big and knows what he's doing, even if he isn't good at doing it, but he knows what he's doing. And we've seen improvement, legitimate improvement in his skill set, in his punching ability, and the power that he has, which is his best weapon, has been validated. I don't know what else we can say except for, Tank, you are again being a hypocrite to what you said. Because you can't say that you're 140 or you can't say you're 135 and you're too small for all these other fighters. And also say that at heavyweight, if you are experienced, you know what you're doing, I can't beat you because that is, again, too much of a size difference. And then go and fight the brother that has a bigger size difference than you by almost 80 pounds and has legitimate experience of nothing but boxing for the past 5 years. Again, though he started late. I am not calling him good. I am not saying that, oh yeah, Tank is going to lose to him. But I am saying, I'm throwing Tank's words back at him because this is what he said. This is what he said. It's not about what I feel. It's about what he said. And also what should be done. And this just, y'all don't understand, man. I'm trying to contain myself because I'm livid. I'm livid to no end. Al Booger, what's going on with you? How you doing? We've got so many people chatting. I do apologize, and it's insane. C Bloom, what's good with you? How you doing as well? Thank you for tuning into the show. So glad you're here with us on today. Al J as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me see what you got to say real quick. Not gonna lie, when I heard the news, it's sad because Tank had opportunities to become great, but he decided to waste his talents on money on an exhibition fight. People say he's small for 140, but not for Jake. Yep, absolutely, man. It's like, and again, y'all, all of these comments have a similar thing, where it's just, where it's more than just disappointment. This is frustration, and you gotta understand, this is years. This is years and years of buildup of mess that we've seen the likes of Tank do. That is finally now to pop the top off. It's finally popped the top off. And so it's oh gosh, man, oh, it is frustrating. It's so frustrating. I'm like, my head hurts. My head. Charles Manson, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Manson, good to see you. Size mismatch is wild, but like, you gotta understand, to put this into perspective, just for the size difference, Usyk versus Tyson Fury was 40 plus pounds. Put that into perspective. Usyk versus Fury was a 40-pound weight difference. An insane win, but that was 40 pounds at heavyweight. Even Floyd Mayweather against Jake Paul, I believe, was a less bigger weight discrepancy than this, because at least Floyd Mayweather was at minimum 154, 155 at that point in his career. With him being retired. He retired at 147. And the fight itself was at 154. But baseline, 147. This brother is over 10 pounds lighter than Floyd Mayweather. 2 weight classes under Floyd Mayweather against a brother who weighed in his last fight 239. I repeat, 239. Jake Paul was in talks with fighting not just Anthony Joshua, but Zerto Ramirez. That's between 200 and 223. Only reason why the Jake Paul fight didn't happen was because of a network television dispute. Where would the fight be shown? On DAZN, where Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, I believe, own a portion of stake in the company, or on Netflix, where this fight's going to be held at right now. We would have been all more for that fight with Jake and Joshua, because that would have been around his weight, where he's been fighting at between cruiserweight and heavyweight for the past couple of years against a fighter who's had been on the downtrend, but is still great. And if you do beat him somehow, some way, okay, fine. Against somebody who was your size, your age, in their physical prime, and active, what can you do? And you beat him, okay, we ain't got no issues. We have nothing to say. That would have been okay. From the standpoint of at least more digestible. At least more digestible. This is innocuous. This is ridiculous in the worst way possible. Let me see. No, only people who believe Tank are upset and disappointed. Only the people who believe Tank are upset and disappointed. The rest of us see through the smoke and mirrors. We always knew he was a charlatan of the highest order. And it's like, brother, this even shocked me. This shocked me. Like, I would have, this is something I never would have thought. I never would have thought this would be something that would actually take place. Like, you want to talk about the epitome of belligerent acting? I would have never though I said it could happen, I had so firmly put it out my mind because of the whole situation with Lamont, as well as with the domestic violence case, with the stuff being freed, with Shakur becoming a legitimate big name, bigger than he's ever been, with the likes of 135 heating up as hot as it did. Money was everywhere, so there wouldn't be a need to do anything else except for fighting your division. Okay, now's the time. It made all the sense in the world that everything lines up. Yeah, there's no way Tank wouldn't be able to take these fights. And now, here's what it is. It is happening. And what's worse, don't forget, what's worse than all of it, Tank has now done exactly what I warned would happen if he does take this fight. He's backed himself into a corner. Because now, if you can fight Jake Paul, brother, you don't deserve any sort of money until you fight Shakur and every single champion from 135 to 147. No, forget that, 154. At this point, you know what? Fight Boots. Go ahead. Come on. Fight Boots. Come on, fight Boots. Fight Boots and Crawford. Come on. No. Ain't no waiting around no more. No. I don't want to hear that nobody's too big. I don't want to hear anybody is too strong. If you can fight Jake Paul, guess who you can fight? Boots Ennis. I'd love to see that fight. I would love to see that. Huh? That's a pipe dream, ain't it? Let's make it a reality. Go ahead. That's what we want to. That's my new standard now for Tank. You gotta fight Boots. You gotta fight Crawford. And you gotta fight everybody from 147 on down and up. You got to. You need to fight. Your next weight class when you come back down should be 168. It should be that. It should be 168. Go ahead, fight Shiraz. Since you want to take decisive fight, go ahead. Fight Chivas. Fight Crawford. Fight Canelo. Fight Boots. Fight Brian Norman Jr. Go ahead. There's no excuse to fight Devin Haney now. You can't say he's too big now. You can't say Teofimo Lopez is too big now. Go on, fight him. There's nowhere he can run now. There is nowhere he can run. Any other fight after this will not be taken seriously from Tank unless it's against somebody that is one of the legitimate best in the world. If it's not a champion, I am not watching. Let me be clear. If it is not a champion, I am not watching. I don't want to watch this fight, but I got to. Because it's part of my job. But I don't want to see it. It's the worst thing in the world. Let me see. Love King, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I can't believe these two are fighting, but I can't wait to watch. And it's like, I don't even know how this fight's gonna look. I don't even know how this fight's gonna look. I don't. Did Jake come out guns blazing? Did Tank knock him out? Jake, if Tank just wants to wait out and gas him out till 6, do that. Great. So you got the slowest output in the game against a brother who again, is a bad stamina brother. So yeah, most likely round 7 and on, yeah, we'll see Tank knock out and stop Jake Paul. Unless Jake Paul got a better chin than I expected. And even then, can Tank's power carry up that high? We assume yes, but in terms of against this type of brother, but I don't know. There's so many unknowns, but all of them should be like, yeah, he should be able to win. But the weight discrepancy is so big, and he's got actual experience. It is. There's a possibility he could actually get caught, and if he does get caught, brother, he's in trouble. We already saw what happens if you can actually take his power against with people like Lamont. Though Lamont against league's better, but brother, this would be just because of just straight up size. There's a question of potential, no. Though I don't even want to think that, oh yeah, Tank can't hurt Jake Paul, because it is Tank Davis against a bumming Jake Paul, who again was getting rocked by the likes of Chavez Jr., who has been out the ring for 6 years, rehab and all. So it's like, it's oh boy. It's so bad. It's so bad that it makes me sick. It really does. It really makes me sick watching this. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not. I'm really not. But it's just like, it's how did we get here? How did we get here? That's the question. How in the world did we even get here? To where this fight's even possible? To where this fight's even happening? You know how we got here? Because of the likes of Floyd Mayweather. That's how. That's how we got it. Because of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is the direct cause as to why we see this fight happening now. He is a direct line to exactly why we see what we see now in boxing. He is the focal point. He is the what's it called? The glitch in time. No, that ain't it. The incursion. He's the incursion. He is the incursion event that caused everything we see now. We thought it was getting better. But because of what he did with Conor McGregor, it allowed for the likes of KSI and Jake Paul and influencer boxing to thrive. Now, influencer boxing itself, great. No issue. You're fighting your set competition against other people that don't know how to fight. You all are growing together, even playing field. No issue with that. Cool. Watch it. Great. Entertaining. Love it. Loved it. But at the same time, as we saw the wheels keep on turning and influencers started getting in the ring with actual boxers, then we started to see where the trouble, then the real effects of what Floyd did started taking effect. Because then you got Logan Paul and KSI. You got the rematch. Then you got Jake Paul. And then when that happened, okay, he's going to fight KSI. Then moves into the real world, fights Nate Diaz, fights Nate Robinson, then fights Ben Askren. A non-fighter, non-boxer, 5'5", 5'4". That was the height of Nate Robinson. And Jake Paul fought him. No weight class, just straight up athletic ability. Now we know that's not going to be enough. He goes through. And what happens? UFC fighter. Then it was. Finally fights Tommy Fury. Lose. Boom. Thought it was going to be wrapped up. But because of the spectacle of what this was, kept getting momentum. Somehow, some way. And we kept allowing it to keep on getting momentum. Now we see exactly where we are with this brother just going through and messing up everything. It got so far away that now this is able to be funded, and then we see what we see now. And and before that, old Anderson Silva, old Mike Tyson, we let that, the sports world, let that happen for some reason. And then now this, it's like, all because of, they saw what happened with Floyd. And with this brother, we can do that 5-6 times. And I hate it. This is why I always said, what the people do at the top, their success, that's what gets followed. Stylistically, Floyd's style got adopted by most of the boxing public. And also now, what do we see? We see Floyd's business sense, the worst part of the business sense, now also being adopted by his biggest protege in Tank. And it's a shame. I'm telling you, it's a doggone shame. It's one of the worst things. It's a new day in boxing, and like it is a new day. And I think Kingdom called it a circus, and it's like it is a circus. And you know what's crazy? From 2023 up until now, we can definitively say boxing has gotten to a better state than it was. With all the undisputed fights, with all of the stars that got made, all of the big fights that we thought would never happen. Spence versus Crawford, Fury versus Usyk, Fury versus Usyk too. Shoot, Wilder versus Fury. Though I think that was late 2022, but even still, I'll dump it in there just for the sake of. Benavidez moving up and fighting Morrell. Before that fighting Gavaz, we would get in the way. Going undisputed, beating 7-4, moving up, having his run now at super bantamweight. Before that, having another one. Stars like Emmanuel Navarrete coming up. Shakur Stevenson again blossoming into the star that we know. Now of recent, Abdullah Mason becoming big. Schofield making a statement. 135 is huge. 154 filled with competition left, right, and center. Crawford moving up multiple divisions, becoming champion. Having Crawford and Spence, and having Crawford, Spence, Crawford and Porter and Spence. We're getting fight. Archie Better BF versus B-Ball. B-Ball versus Better BF 2. B-Ball versus Canelo. Like we can't. We're not getting stuff. Canelo becoming undisputed. We aren't lacking in talent. We're not lacking. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. Their trilogy that happened over the course of 3 years. Clarissa Shields becoming a megastar. Bumgarner, all of them, women's and men's boxing is turning into what we wanted. It's slow, but it's happening. More undisputed champions than ever before. More big fights than we've seen in the past decade. A consistency. All of a sudden, Turkey Al-Sheikh is coming through, and we're getting every fight that we want. In a quick fashion, in a manner that we didn't think was gonna, in a manner that we did not think was actually gonna take place. This quickly. Quisenberry and Matchroom actually working together. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? And yet, This is what we even got a Leonard Hagler type of fight in Crawford versus Canelo, for the sense of two all-time greats that are proven fighting against each other for the undisputed title. In a dream fight that is just, it's just crazy enough to seem nonsensical, but it's filled with so much talent between the two that it's not implausible for it to be an all-time war. And because we've seen that happen before. It is a mirrored history fight. This is not something that so it's not so much out the question. And both of them, we know, are some of the best in the world. And ironically enough, they are also, from the sense of height, at least they're around the same height, regardless of how you feel about the weight. So we've had so much happen. Keith Thurman came back. Pacquiao just was one round away from becoming arguably the second oldest champion in history. The oldest champion today in the modern day of boxing, beating Arizona Lara by like 4 years. Beating Artur Beterbiev, who's 40. We got people in their prime, staying in their prime longer than ever before. We got Boots coming up. We got Janibek moving up. We got Shiraz coming up to 168. We still got Usyk. We got Daniel Dubois. We got a litany of things happening in boxing, with fights still getting on the cusp of being made. And this now has just derailed, or it feels like it's derailed all that progress that we got. Every single thing that we built up, it feels like it feels like, I had some dust, like a fur ball. I think it was lint. But regardless of which, all that momentum that we got and we got, that we were celebrating, that we were like, this is where the sport needs to be. All of a sudden, just like that, feels like it's wiped away. It's not wiped away, but it sure enough feels like it. It sure enough feels like it. As much as I detest Floyd, at least the guy rematched most of the fight. Yeah, he rematched every fight. You don't gotta like him, but you can respect it. Hey, brother, no matter how you feel about where he ranks, you can say for certain, okay, the brother, at least if he did get tested, he may not have fought everybody that would have been the biggest test for him, in the words of Roy. But we can at least say that the brother, if you did test him, but he was going through it, and he went to get back immediately, and he made sure that he was still beating, though he might have been everybody in their prime, he was still beating names, quality names. It was. We're not disrespecting the resume. You can add context to it, but it is a phenomenal wrestler. He's one of the best pound for pound in the world in history for a reason. But he is still, regardless of how much you may want to detract from, still took leagues more tests than this. And he was also willingly pushing himself a lot more than this. It's really sad. It's really sad, man. It's really sad. Let me see. Teddy Berkshire, how you doing? Good to see. I am extremely behind. I'm gonna start scoring that weird. Ain't about money. It's about the point. Paying for the pointless exhibition. Yeah. It's like, we know it's an exhibition, but it's still happening, and they're still going. And whether you think it's an exhibition or not, I promise you, Jake Paul is going to try to knock out Tank. I promise you he is. I guarantee you he is. You think Jake Paul was actively trying to knock out Mike Tyson for 3 rounds. After that first round flurry from Tyson, and once round 2 came along, Jake Paul was actually trying to hurt Tyson. He was actually trying to take him out until he just couldn't, because Tyson's chin was ironically enough, still iron, and was taking a lot of the punishment, though he was losing the fight outright. But he couldn't knock him out, and he got winded again. And so he just stopped fighting and just cruised on. But he tried to actually get him out of there. He did. And I'm telling you right now, he's going to try the same thing with Tank. He's gonna try that same thing. He's gonna try that same thing with Tank, and he is gonna try to get him out of it. What do you think it's an exhibition? Oh no, it is an exhibition. Excuse me. It's not what do you think. It is an exhibition. But he is going to try to knock out Jake Paul, or excuse me, he's going to try to knock out Tank. Tank, because of the weight discrepancy that is so big, Tank cannot just walk in and be like, this is going to be easy work. He can't. Because this isn't Logan Paul. This is somebody who actually knows what he's doing. Can actually throw shots, good shots, against you. If you take them lightly, like Tyron Woodley, like Ben Askren, and like a couple of other fighters in the world of boxing who they weren't boxers, but they still took him lightly, and you saw what happened. They got put to sleep. And you cannot take Jake Paul lightly regardless of how much you think, he's a bum. Because if you do, you're going to get knocked out because it's happened so many times. It's happened so many times. And I am not saying Jake Paul is a good fighter. I am saying that he's good enough that you have to actually take him seriously. And even with as much as Tank is a great fighter, the best fighter Jake Paul has ever faced in his life, that is the absolute truth. Tank is the best fighter Jake Paul has ever fought in his life. But like I said before, the deck is stacked. It's still stacked for him because he is 135 and Jake Paul is 200. 190, 200. Potentially 210 and 230 by the time the fight comes, depending on restrictions. Brother, Tank can't just say, light work, easy work. In terms of that type of mentality. He's got to be, I need to go and kill this brother. He fights like that, yeah, sure. Yeah, he gets him out. No question. No question. If he takes him lightly, there's a potential that Jake can land something. It might even be through the guard because of just the power. And because of how small Tank is, that something through the guard can hurt him. Something through the guard can hurt Tank, as crazy as it may sound. Because Jake actually knows how to throw. And it's the worst thing in the world, but it's the truth of the matter. You can't take him lightly if you Tank. And it's just, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So let me see. Roman Vasquez, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. The fighters show if they're looking for greatness with the opponents they're fighting. No question about it. They absolutely do. I'd respect it more if it counted. I would at least say, okay, you're putting your record on the line. But again, because of the weight discrepancy, it cannot be a sanctioned fight. There is no commission out unless somebody comes out the woodwork. There's no commission. Nevada, Georgia, I don't care where, that's going to let this fight take place with this being that big of a weight discrepancy. There's no way. There's no way. With the experience that Jake Paul actually has, and he just fought at 239, excuse me, and he's fought at 190 for the past like 3 or 4 years. Tank at 154, or excuse me, I'm sorry, Tank at 135. Yeah, there's no way it's going to be sanctioned. There's no way a sanctioning body will give an okay to that. There's no way. There's no way. If they push for it, okay, cool. Most likely they got the bag. Why push for it? But it's still going to matter if we see somebody get put out or get beat and lose the fight. Because it's still going to be, I don't care if it's exhibition or not, but it's still going to be. I've never seen an exhibition. It doesn't turn into a real war. Inoue had an exhibition over in Japan against a 130 pounder when he was like 118. Guess what? It turned into an actual war. They took the headgear off. They said, nah, let's go. And they fought. Tyson versus Roy. They actually went. Like Tyson was, to a degree, was holding back some, but he was still actually trying to land and hurt Roy. Roy was legitimately trying to get out of the way. Because it was like, Tyson he ain't messing around. Tyson only knows one way. Exhibition. Pacquiao had a bunch of exhibitions. All of them inevitably turned into somebody's actually trying to get somebody. Floyd Mayweather versus, what was it, Gotti. Even then, inevitably, It got to a point that Gotti actually was trying to get at Floyd. Ended in a brawl. It turned into a third fight. Where Gotti was actually somebody, at some point in time, a switch is going to flip. Somebody's actually going to try to hurt the other. It's going to be, okay, yeah, no, I'm getting serious now. There's never been an exhibition where that hasn't happened. There's never been an exhibition where somebody hasn't gotten serious in some regard. And all of a sudden turned into an actual fight. I've never seen one. At this level, I have never seen an exhibition that has not turned into a real, actual fight. Never. Where at some point in time the switch flipped and now both sides are actually starting to do some stuff. I've never. So I promise you, they're going to go at it. They are absolutely going to go. I guarantee you. Mark my words. Mark my words. WWE magazine vacate not after Tank should be stripped of the belt. Let me tell you something right now. Tank should be stripped. Tank should be stripped. No question about it. No question about it. No question about it. You watch Tank next fight will be Shockey Foster. Brother, at this point, it's rigid. I'm not accepting nothing else if it ain't Shakur Stevens. If it ain't Shakur, T.O., Abdullah Mason, Boots Ennis, Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney. I'm not accepting. If you can do this, after everything you said, no. If Ryan Graves is here, my list for Tank is as strict as Ryan Graves' pound for pound list or tier list with A, B, and C ranked fighters. It's as strict as that for Tank now. When it comes to who I'm gonna be okay with him fighting after this. No, it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Like I said, Tank will say 142 big, but get the bag. But the bag's never. And where's the clip? There's a clip I wanted to bring up. Let me see. Let me make it simple here. Would any of you, even without boxing experience, still fight Mike Tyson in his prime for $100 million? Case closed. And here's the thing. You have to understand. I am not denying that the bag is real. Let me be clear. I'm not denying that the amount of money is indeed incredible. Of course, we understand. Yeah, most people would. It's so much money on the line, potentially in the triple digits or maybe high double digits of millions. Oh, you'd be a fool not to take that fight. But you have to understand. What have I been saying on this show countless times? With legacy comes money. We've seen Canelo get the amount of money that he's gotten routinely, more than Tank, by actively going out and making a resume worthwhile. Now, off the back end, he's able to do whatever he wants. But from the sense of he can fight, any fight now makes a boatload of money, more than anybody else. Off of his name alone. Way more than Tank, is the truth. And when big fights do come, they break records. You got to understand that even though this is a lot of money, there are some things that the compromise is not. It's how do I say this? How do I say this so I can all money that you take ain't always going to be the money that you need. All opportunities are not opportunities that are widely accepted. All jobs ain't good jobs. All work ain't good work. All actions are I promise you, are not good actions. And it's because, in fact, where is this at? Let me pull up this clip because I think this perfectly encapsulates exactly what I'm trying to say. If I can find it, hold on. Hold on, wait a minute, I'm gonna find it. Because this perfectly encapsulates exactly what I'm trying to say. Here it is. Yep. When with Denzel Washington on First Take. When he was, no, that ain't it. No, this is it. It's just black. There we go. Denzel Washington on First Take. Talking about the Cowboys when he was going through and discussing Jerry Jones not paying Micah Parsons, trying to save money. This is what the brother had to say.
But you know.
If I can play it, if I can actually play it.
There's
Yep. Okay, yep. Should be good now. Is it on? Oh, hold on. Is it on the screen? Okay, yeah, it's on the screen. There we go. Denzel Washington said it best.
box office and there's Oscars. Jerry, been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know. Wow. Wouldn't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Listen here.
Haven't been to the show, so you wouldn't know what it is to win.
I don't need to add.
I feel like we could
And I love the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys because I really love them. This is the way I feel. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the movie.
And I wanted to get back to the movie because you didn't bring the.
Speaking of the movie, same thing.
Highest to lowest. You didn't bring it up.
And what does it say down the bottom of the movie?
Listen.
What?
Or does it say it on the one sheet?
What does it say?
All money ain't good money, Jerry.
Say it again.
All money ain't good money, Jerry.
One time.
August 15th, we open Friday.
Woo, Lord.
All money ain't good money.
That right there. All money ain't good money. All money ain't money that you need to take. All money ain't the opportunity that you need to actually use and do and take advantage of. Yes, people say, oh, you'll be crazy not to take it. There's good reason. You see what exactly this signifies. You taking this money compromises the integrity of everything else that this sport was trying to get back to. See, you have to understand, yes, Tank took the money. Tank's about the money. Guess what? If that's his prerogative, that's his prerogative. I cannot sit here and I can be mad all I want about what Tank does in regards to money, but it's still his decision and he's getting paid. He's the one that's got to risk his life in the ring. He's the one that's got to go through and make it so that he's in danger. He's the one that is putting himself out there to get hit and is winning or losing. He's the one that's doing it. However, even with all that being said, wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought something going down on my life. But even with what's this? Hold on. What's going on? Oh, don't tell me I better not get a community strike. I better not get a community strike. You know, I don't care. We're gonna keep it on. And potentially, I might get a community a strike for playing that clip. Again, it was a clip from Denzel Washington. I don't own this from First Take, owned by ESPN. It is not mine. Be clear. Just so we know. Pulling it out there, so I don't get copyright infringement. But regardless of which, you have to understand that even still, all money ain't good money. It's because when it comes to Tank, you taking the money, I can't be mad at it, but you still take it. That's what you do. But then don't get mad at me for being upset and saying you don't deserve to be in certain conversations and you are messing up the sport. If you are. Because you are. You got to understand. This brother taking this fight is with other big fights right there. Lamont versus Tank would have been one of the biggest fights of the year. Was one of the most anticipated fights of the year. Shakur versus Tank was already being talked about as a mega fight. You had two big money paydays. You could have had back-to-back against viable opponents. Yet you then went and the other way and you did not even attempt to fight him. because, ooh, the money was oh so good. But if you had fought those other two, not only would you have gotten money, you would have gotten even more respect. Your legacy would have actually been something that would have carried you beyond just the immediate, so you could have earned money after you actually retire. Beyond just being a Baltimore native, you could have been a world acclaimed and beloved great fighter. Opportunities everywhere. It ain't just about, if you're just worried about the immediate and not thinking long term, though again, this is just great money, the effect of what it's going to have is incredibly detrimental. We can't deny that. We have to keep it a buck. That's another podcast. I don't own the name. But we gotta keep it 100. We gotta keep it real. This is bad because you forgoed big money fights that were actually substantive for a bigger money fight that has no substance at all. Now, what does that do for the sport going forward for anybody else who wants to make money? And if we keep on saying we don't want this stuff to happen, we keep on saying we want legacy and greatness, and we do. We understand that the standard of excellence is still the standard of excellence. Yes, it is. But at the same time, we cannot then go back and keep on saying, oh, they're getting the bag. I can't be mad. Oh, they're getting the bag. Hey, I can't blame them. Oh, they're getting the bag. Well, at least they're getting paid. That type of thinking, where it became, we want athletes to get the money. We want them to get the money with the respective work that they do. Do we not complain with the current economic state, at least in America? I can't speak of the rest of the world, but at least in America, with how the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and I can work twice as hard as somebody else, but I'm not getting paid anything. But this brother or sister who's doing nothing got a job that literally does not require any sort of talent, that I'm overqualified for, but I don't get. They get $500,000 a year for doing nothing, but I'm working like a slave as best I can, and I'm barely making $30,000. But I'm doing the work, and we keep on saying that you're supposed to be rewarded for what you do. We're not saying that we don't want Tank to get the money. We're not underappreciating that if there's a big fight, okay, yeah, there's a big fight. We want athletes to be taken care of. Do we not say that? Have I not always said that? That's why I want pension plans. I want insurance. I want fighters to have health care. I want fighters to be able to long afterwards. You don't got to worry. You sacrifice and you deserve a reward. But also, what you make should also be equivalent to what you do. Now, it makes sense for Canelo to get the money that he deserves because he is Canelo, and what he's done has been so legacy driven. Okay, yeah, you earn the right to make that type of dough because you put in the work. But Tank ain't putting the work. But he's doing this type of stuff. We've seen other fighters do. Bam Rodriguez is undisputed. He ain't getting nearly these types of opportunities. He ain't getting paid nearly this much. In a way, is arguably the second best boxer in the world, pound for pound. From a talent perspective, I think he's the best fighter in the world. But even still, within that top three, this brother has been making moves everywhere he can. He has made even some other legends' careers. He's eclipsed them in some regard. And I'm not saying that in disrespect. I'm saying he's done great work. And he isn't making as much money as Tank. He's fought here in the States upwards of 4 times. He's been undefeated. He's gone through 1 through 5 in competition. He's knocked out nearly everybody he's fought against, and all of them have been elite for their division, or they've been pound for pound for all of boxing, like with Stephen Fulton. He's fought fighters that have fought at 130, like with Cardenas, and knocked them out. He's fought heavy hitters who've been banned from Japan, like Neri. He's fought all-time greats like Nonito Donaire when they were having a resurgence in their prime. He's done all that, and he's only 32. He's less than 32, actually. And he ain't making, and he isn't getting near the acclaim or the money. Terrence Crawford is currently seen it for a lot of people as one of the 3 best boxers in the world, if not the best in the world. This man beat Errol Spence Jr. He beat Kell Brook. He beat Sean Porter. He beat Amir Khan. He beat Postal. He beat Burns. He beat Gamboa when Gamboa was still undefeated. Further into his prime. Yes, he had a three-year layoff, but still, he was further into his prime and still had a prime. And he beat him, knocked him out. He's going on upwards of I think a 12 to 14 fight win streak at one point in time. Good, bad, or average, everybody ended the same way you got knocked out. He beat Errol Spence Jr. And he still is not as known and is not seen on a widely acclaimed and has not made nearly as much money as Tank, who has done nothing. This is going to be the fight that gives Crawford the deserved thing. But it's like Crawford did so much more work. Spence did so much more work. Other fighters have done so much more work than the likes of Tank. But he's getting rewarded. That's not right. And Tank's done nothing. Tank getting this opportunity to fight Jake Paul, and this happening for Jake Paul to allow for him to even make this opportunity possible is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And it ain't right. So, no, it's not good enough that he's making bank. It's not good enough that the bag is there. Because the bag being there is exactly how we got into this problem in the first place in boxing. That's how we got here. The bag being the end-all be-all is exactly why we are where we are in the boxing world. Because the bag came without the work. Doing work didn't get rewarded. But taking it easy got rewarded. That's not right. If it ain't right in the business sense, it's showing up right in the boxing world. If I'm taking on killers left, right, and center, but Tank is taking on people that are well below his level, but he getting paid this much, but that's something wrong with the sport. Is it right? No, it's wrong. Isn't that the right thing? Isn't that the right thinking? If Tank is getting paid this much, and he ain't nowhere close to as talented, or excuse me, he is nowhere close to, well, in some degree, he is close to as talented as we thought, but he is no close as accomplished as these other people. But he's the only one getting this type of stuff. That's not right for boxing, is it? No. That should not be held as a high regard of, yeah, that's a feather in his cap. At least he's getting paid. Because guess what? You're going to say that again for the next fight. At least he's getting paid. At least he's making dough. At least he's getting bank. We said that for when he was fighting Hector Garcia. Well, he made a bag. Wasn't a great brother compared to his level, but he made a bag. Huh? Canelo got paid a bag for fighting Berlanga. But that fight shouldn't have happened. Huh? But Benavidez is barely getting to a notarized name when he's fighting people like David Morrell, Gervonta, Anthony Yarde, Lemieux, Bubba Andre. When Andre was someone, though he was older, someone was aborted by the division. Like this is the thing. This is the issue. We cannot let the bag be the thing that drives what the sport is from the standpoint of at least you're getting paid. No, you should be, at least you're getting paid for taking a big test. At least you're getting paid for doing great stuff. That's what it should be. And defaulting to just saying Tank's getting paid and you can't be mad at that. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because if you're not greater than somebody else, but you're getting paid like you at that status, guess what? That devalues the work that somebody else does. All of a sudden, the accolades don't mean anything, do they? Huh? All of a sudden, you actually taking on the best test possible doesn't mean anything if it's devalued like that. All of a sudden, the substance of somebody means nothing as long as you can sell. Now, what always sells is consistency and greatness if you try to be great. We've never seen a great fight not be talked about, remembered, and or held up in high regard for all time. It always happens. But we can't deny that he's getting to a point where it ain't getting the respect it deserves. Not nearly as much. Devin Haney versus Lomachenko didn't sell out nearly as much as it should have, yet it was one of the best fights of the year. We've seen countless times before. It should not be that Tank gets this type of bag. Tank does not deserve this type of payday for the work he's done. And we can bring up Ali fighting in exhibitions that was well into the later years when he was getting ready to get out of here. James Toney fought in the UFC after he retired. I believe it was after he retired or getting ready to retire. Done at the elite level. Not in his prime at all. But we can bring Conor McGregor versus Floyd, though that fight shouldn't have been for the 50th win. For the 50th win in his career, let me be clear. It still should have been. That at least it happened when Floyd was, yeah, I'm done. At least we can say that. Not in the middle of his prime. But at least he had accomplished everything that he did before doing that. And so it at least softens the blow. This is just, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like this, it's the real deal. This is some real stuff, and it's frustrating. And let me see. Tank won't even fight every red team if he goes to 135. Yeah, that's the problem. And I hate it. I hate it so much. It is oh gosh. It is so frustrating. You understand my head is hurting because of this type of ignorant stuff that's going through. It's ridiculous. Let me see. Guys choose money over legacy, but fail to realize the money comes with the legacy. That's the thing. But it's the fact that now even that ideology, because of this fight with Tank, is now being flipped on its head. And that's bad. The ideology is true, but it's not being acted on. That mentality is right, but it is not being rewarded like it should. It is not being given the respect that it deserves. It is not being treated with the pay nor the adoration or just the buzz that you would think it should. And that's where the problems lie. That's where the problems lie. And it's like it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Because like we know how we got here. And we knew we were getting out of it. And now this happens, and like I said, this is why I keep on saying, when Tank leaves this sport will be better. When Tank leaves, this sport will be better. When Tank leaves, this sport's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be so much better. When Tank leaves this sport for good, it's gonna be way better for it. It's gonna be way better for it. It's gonna be way better for it. Because everybody else outside of Tank is actually trying to do some stuff. Shakur's trying to fight Lamont Roach. He said it over Twitter. That's happened. Schofield and Abdullah Mason, we can see that happen. Genuine. Benavidez, we already know what's going on there. Crawford wants to run back to 154. If he beats Canelo, even if he doesn't beat Canelo, he might come back down to 154, regardless of the result, and try to become undisputed still. Face off against everybody. In a way, still doing in a way things. You got the Archie Beterbiev is still looking to keep ring rust off of him, so he can be ready to fight B-Ball again because he still wants his rematch once B-Ball recovers from back surgery. We still got people doing stuff. We got Moses and Talma. He's doing work. He's doing work. Great work. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We got all these people doing all this stuff. But it just gets overshadowed by the likes of Tank making stupidly essentially nuclear bomb-like decisions that are driven by greed. It's driven by greed. And let me tell you, and as I keep reading the chats, average person who will think boxing is all entertainment, but that's not true. Boxing is more than it's more political. Yeah, it's more politics. Politics and money under the table. It's a bunch of stuff. It's shady. Like I tell you, it's a shady world. We love it, but it is a shady world, man. It's a shady world, and it is frustrating. It's so frustrating. I mean, oh boy. It is ridiculous. Tank fans don't care. They will ride till the end. That's another problem with boxing. That's another thing. Brother, boxing, the fandom, being fans of the fighter over the fans of the sport makes it so that you allow things to go through. You allow things to happen that shouldn't happen. It's like if you got a family member, or even if you got a wife and or husband that goes through and they do stuff, but you continually keep on letting it slide. And you never stand up and say, hey, that's not right. You needs to stop or things are going to have to change. If you don't put your foot down, proverbially, and stand up against the stuff that is happening, that is indeed wrong, no matter how much you love the brother or sister, whoever it is, it's going to keep on happening. If you truly love what somebody is, you will go and take a stand when they mess up. I love Tank in terms of watching him fight. And I want to see him be great. Because I want to see him be great, these types of fights I hate. And I will never let it ride. That's why I have been so hard on Tank all the time. Because I'm never going to let it compromise what my potential love of watching a fighter be with what he is over what he needs to do. Because if I truly love him, then I want him to do the best he can against the best that's out there. But because Tank fans kept on letting it slide, letting it work, letting it rock, letting him keep on, you can do no wrong. You have no issue. You have no problem. There's no trouble. You're doing everything right. You're unstoppable. You're unbeatable. You're undeniable. There's nothing you can do that doesn't make sense. Now, you let him keep on going. And now, like I said at the start of the show, he jumped off the ledge. And you thought he would never do it. And now you got a choice to make. Do you hold on to the rope? And do you try to keep him from hitting the ground? Because if you don't, you will get dragged down with him. Or do you let it go? Do you let the rope go and do you let him die by himself? Do you let him hit the mat, hit the floor, hit the concrete? Do you let him die alone? Or do you die together? Do you let him drag you down to the bottom of the sea? Or do you let go and let him keep on doing what he do? Let him keep on swimming without you. Because you're now getting dragged into a territory that's like, yeah, it's too far. It was too far miles back, but you kept on going. You got a chance to let go. Excuse me, you had a chance to let go. Let me rephrase it. You had a chance to let go. And you didn't. And now you held on too long. You had a chance to let go. You had a chance to not even renounce your love of Tank, just to go through and tell Tank, hey, you're wrong. Stop this. Be better. You had your chance. You had your opportunity. You could have spoken up at any point in time, but you didn't. And now look what happened. Now look what happened. Now you're sitting there saying, I never thought this would happen. Why didn't anybody tell me that this is what Tank is as a fighter? Who would have thought that Tank would move like this? Similar to the political climate in America right now. Who would have thought this would happen to our government when they got told multiple times? This ain't a politics show, but I try to do my best to keep up with it and to learn and understand. Who would have thought? All the mess, all the cuts, all the essential services that this country needs, that most of the demographic who said was bad for it, the country, relies on that aspect of the country. Like with old folks in Medicaid, who would have thought that this administration would have gone through and done what they done to gut everything that keeps your and my grandparents alive, or relatives, whoever the word is relying on. Essential services, hospitals, healthcare, medicine, all of that. Jobs and opportunities, small businesses that are now shut down. Who would have thought that this would have happened when we told you this is what was going to happen? Who would have thought that Tank would move in the way that he's moving when we told you Tank was going to do this same thing if you don't speak up and stop supporting him? And yet you let him support him. And now you look at what you happened. Look at what happened. Now you're too far gone. Now you're too far gone. Now you're into a point where now you lost everything. You've lost the respect. You've lost. As a fan of Tank now, you're associated with the worst aspects of boxing. Any Tank supporter now is going to be seen as horrible. From the standpoint of, oh my gosh, you like this guy? You like this brother? Because see, you have to also understand, even with what Jake Paul is right now, he's casual, absolutely. But he has become a familiar casual. Casual fans know Tank. People who don't watch boxing, casual fans know Jake Paul. People who don't watch boxing know Jake Paul. But because they know Jake Paul, they know that Jake Paul has been a farce. And they have now, through Jake Paul, learned about the other aspects of the sport. And guess what that's taught them? Jake Paul, like I kept on saying, keeps on stacking the deck with stuff that you should be fighting better competition. Even the people that don't know the sport know that Tank should be fighting people his size, his weight, his age. They have now learned that. So even the casual fan now has become attuned to the issues of what Jake Paul is. And if they see him fighting Tank, even the aspect of Tank being a pound for pound fighter, which he's not, but with him being a great fighter, which that he is, with it being a 70-pound weight difference, even the casual fan will say, wait a minute, hold on there. This ain't right at all. More than just how can Jake Paul take this fight, it's how the world can Tank let this go through. Because I thought Tank was a real fighter. I thought Tank was a real boxer. Well, isn't Tank a world champion? Why is he messing around with somebody who isn't proven? Yes, the bag's there, sure. But then, also because of Tank being as high as Tank is, in terms of the totem pole of popularity, even among casual fans as well, all the stuff we've been saying about what Tank will do, why he won't fight higher up, that's also coming up. So even now it's like, wait a minute. Y'all supported a brother who said this about his own career, but is now doing this. But it doesn't really look like he's accomplished much. So why is he moving like he's great? He can't even save face from that. Because again, while boxing has become, but while a casual audience is really coming into boxing, even those casuals are learning. And they're starting to see some stuff. Notice, Jake Paul, every time out, unless it's a huge name, has not been making as much money. Yes, it's been big events. But it ain't been the as consistent of, oh wow type of stuff. It's dwindled. People are starting to see through it. If it ain't, the hoops have to get bigger because the audience is becoming more attuned. The hoops have to become more extravagant that he jumps through because the audience is starting to see the trick. They're starting to see what's going through. And they're starting to see it. They're starting to wake up to it. And because of that, it's starting to, walls are chipping down. And for anybody that's actually been in boxing, now, there's no excuse no more. If they had a problem before, they're done with Tank now. And I kept telling you all that Tank fans will turn on Tank if he keeps moving like this. And we're seeing it from some of the biggest supporters in the world. They're done with Tank after this. They can't justify this. They've been supporting Tank for years. They can't make it. They can't do it. They don't have a hide nor hair to say about what this is. In a defense, they're actually coming out and saying this is horrible, which I never thought I would see. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all this stuff. They're coming out. People that I know love Tank to the day they die. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not dealing with this no more. I'm not dealing with this no more. They're waking up to it too. I told you all that this would happen. I let you all know Tank would be turned on by his own people. Tank would be turned on by his own community. He would be forgotten. He'll be let go. This was the straw that broke his kid. Thought it was going to happen with a different thing. But this was the straw that broke the camel's back. And it's a shame. It's people attack Canelo, but he fought some great people. I don't get why he gets the hate. It's bizarre. Again, the hate, the problem with Canelo is the fact that he's not fighting David Benavidez when he could have been fighting David Benavidez and should still be fighting David Benavidez. That's the issue. He fought everybody else but David Benavidez when David Benavidez was hottest on his heels. And now he's after Crawford. The next move that we only want him to do is to fight David Benavidez. Because that is, just like with Canelo, just like with Crawford and Spence, that is his X Factor fight. He needs that fight. Just like he needed Gennady. He needed to fight Gennady Golovkin, and he fought him. Now you need to fight Benavidez, and he has been itching to get that fight happening. But it has been Canelo that has not made that fight happen. And fans recognize that. We see the rhetoric that Canelo has said and the ways he's gone about moving in his career of the last 3 years. With John Ryder, with Munguia, with Skull, though Skull was more so necessary rather than a chosen thing, because he just had to get the undisputed title back to bring it into the fight with Terrence Crawford. But still, all those fights, Charlo, it's fights that you are doing everything but the one thing that even you recognize needs to be done. We don't like that. We love Canelo for the legacy and what he's done. But going forward, you still have work to do. And when you are avoiding said work, just like with Tank right now, just like with Usyk when he fought Dillian White, just like with Usyk when Tyson Fury fought Dillian White, instead of when he fought Derek Chisora instead of Usyk. Mind you, I believe Usyk had majority of the belts at that point in time. And you didn't do it. Yeah, it's a duck. It's a problem. It's a major problem. And we can't rock with it. That's why Canelo gets the flack that he does. Because you recognize, just like with Tank, he's holding up an end of the bargain. That if he wanted to fight, he would make the fight. But because of that, it ain't going through. And that's why Benavidez is trying to get the undisputed title so we can force the issue and make it say, Canelo, do you really want this championship? Because if you do, you got to come through me at 175. That's why. And so that's where his disdain comes from. But in terms of legacy, yeah, we don't dismiss the legacy. Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. In athletics, nowhere to hide. Tank never makes it as track anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean he's a fighter. He's not a runner. He's a boxer. So it's like and this is really what I wanted to get at. Tank can no longer be put in the conversation Also, before I say that, Usyk and Canelo are good examples of if you fight for legacy, it pays off at the end. Tank chose the quick money. That's the issue. Like I said, Tank is going to be forgotten to time because of this. Tank is going to be forgotten to history because of this type of stuff. He's not going to be remembered. Y'all thought I was, you thought I was overblowing this. Y'all really thought I was overblowing this. Some people thought I was going too hard. When I said that Tank's going to be forgotten, it's because of stuff like this. Jake Paul's not going to be remembered once he leaves the sport. And Tank won't be remembered or missed once he leaves the sport. He's going to go off on an island, like he said, get his own spot, and disappear. He said it himself. And guess what? That's exactly what's going to happen. Not because of his own volition, but because we won't care about him. What did he do to make us care? He was here for a good time, not a long time. And even that good time was bad. So what were we here for? What were we here for? Why should we want to remember that? Why should that be brazened in our mind, branded on our mind as a means of greatness? That, oh, we look back fondly on it. No, we won't. You think we're going to care? No. No. You're wasted talent. Tank is wasted talent. Tank is wasted potential. Tank as a boxer is a waste of time. Tank as a boxer is a waste of time. Be clear on it. It's a waste of time. No issue. Trying to go through it and let him walk into the sunset, because the sooner you walk away, the better we can get for the fight game, to have fights that we actually need to happen, to make boxing have the quality, the respect, and the greatness that it deserves, that we always tout as what we want to achieve and see. Because here's the thing, you can't say that Tank deserves to get the bag and, oh, whatever happens, happens. And then at the same time, laud the likes of Ali for being so great. Because by giving Tank the flowers that do not be deserved, you're devaluing the other greats of the past. You're devaluing Henry Armstrong. You're devaluing Ezra Charles. You're devaluing the likes of Manny Pacquiao. You're devaluing Joe Louis, Henry Greb, Georgie Joe Wilcox, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Arguello, Aaron Pryor, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, James Toney, Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Ray Robinson. You're disrespecting them by praising this type of action or letting this type of action go through as to, well, it is what it is. No. They fought quality people for their payday. Jack Dempsey got the first $1 million fight, I believe. And it's because he was fighting an actual real deal brother. And had gone through the ringer at heavyweight and then deserved and earned that stardom to be paid what he got paid. Jack Johnson broke the mold. Literally broke the culpability and broke the mold in heavyweight boxing. Went and finally was the first African American to win the heavyweight championship after only being relegated to the Negro heavyweight championship. Because blacks and whites could not fight each other. That's when you have a plethora of black fighters that are unknown to time, but they were Negro heavyweight champions because that was the only belt they were actually legally able to fight for. Until Jack Johnson broke that barrier. That and all of their stuff completely wiped away. Or rather, it is diluted when you give this type of stuff respect. And you can't do that. You can't let that slide. It's not just, oh, he's getting the bag. No, he's messing up. He's spitting on the legacy of what the sport is supposed to be. And no, I'm not trying to be what's the word? I'm not trying to be high and mighty. I'm not trying to be the optimistic. I'm not trying to be the nostalgic brother. But I'm trying to let you recognize that this problem goes further than just this immediate fight. And it's a signal for what we're seeing for the sport as a whole as to what greatness truly is. Dude, this is why I kept on saying, on this show, we love to laugh. We love to entertain, but we're trying to keep the standard of greatness at that high level, because if it falls, next thing you know, mediocrity becomes Hall of Fame worthy. And that's not right. Mediocrity gets paid as if you're 60-0. And that's not right. Mediocrity gets you the respect of being pound for pound number one, and you're nowhere close to that. That's not right. When the bar gets lowered, the sport suffers. When the bar of what is worth paying for and what's worth getting paid for, when that gets lowered, the sport suffers. And it's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, like, shoot, brother. And, well, before I even continue, let me keep on reading the comments of what you all got to say. Let me see. We all have, and I'm so frustrated. He get in the bag. He the face of boxing. Tank fan. That's what it boiled down to. Who gets paid the most is who is the face of the sport. It's still Canelo, if we're going by that metric. But even still, it's a horrible metric. That's not what it's supposed to be. The face of the sport is because they beat everybody else, and they're getting compensated because of that. This is why I keep saying, if promoters worked to actually promote, the stars that should be stars can be stars. If anyone can become a global superstar, others in that division can become known. It's possible. If Bam being undisputed, even at a smaller weight class, can still be marketed as somebody who is incredible to watch. Didn't it happen with Pacquiao? And he did the work. And he had a style that was conducive to excitement. And with the plethora of fighters that do that. Plethora of fighters that do that as well. It is a matter, it's on them to work, to make the star. And then let the career fall in like it needs to be. But it's a backwards thing. It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Like oh shoot, man. I'm just, woo. Good God, I need some water. I need. Let me see. Need to hear from the WBA. I'm waiting. I hope we hear from him. Like I said, Tank should be stripped. Tank should be stripped of every title he's got. Of every title he's got. Put Lamont and Shakur for the WBA title, for the vacant WBA title. Put that on the line. And then have Schofield and Abdullah, if Abdullah beats Sam Noakes, have them fight against each other. And then boom, you got yourself a three-belt unification fight right then and there. Right then and there. All of a sudden the division's hot and heavy. And it's great. And everybody's fighting everybody. Phenomenal. But make it happen. Strip him. He don't deserve the belt. He ain't defending the belt. He's done it one time and he's been out since. And when he could have defended it again, when he could have done the rematch that he was supposed to do, he didn't. And I told you all, he did that same thing to Isaac Cruz. Remember? Didn't I say that last week? Did I not say that last week? He did the same thing to Isaac Cruz. Not giving him a rematch when he deserved it. And it's happening again. And it's happening again, man. It's like, it's horrible. It's horrible. Listen, Canelo Benavidez, I feel only works now at a catch weight of 172. Most likely, if not outright 175. Benavidez ain't coming back down. He will not come back down. I promise you, he won't come back down. Especially if he beats Benavidez. Hypothetically, that's the fight that's looking to be next. If Benavidez beats Yard and Benavidez beats Nicholson, I promise you, he ain't coming back down. I guarantee you, he will never come back down again. Let me see. Is it Gryphone? I think that's how you say the name. But how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. If you like what we got going on, please leave a like on the stream. Go ahead and comment your thoughts and opinions on the show. And we got Cash App and PayPal if you want to support, if you like what you're hearing, you want to, and because we ain't got monetization yet, we ain't got super chats yet, but when we do, it'll be a lot easier. But for the time being, if you want to support the show, we got means up on the screen and in the description. And hey, just stick around and enjoy it. And if you haven't already subscribed, come join the empire. We have conversations like this Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, talking about the world of boxing and beyond. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I think you'll love the community if you do want to go and stick around with us. So hey, come on in with us, and I think you'll enjoy it. But let me see what you got to say. Jake finally doing a real fight. And so let's break this down. This, like I said, it is the real fight. And it's the best fight that Jake Paul has ever fought against. No question. But it is so far still stacked in its favor. From the sense of weight, height, what weight class is going to come up to. I mean, brother, we talk about how is Crawford going to handle being at 168 when he started his career at 135. But that's Terrence Crawford. But this is Tank that's going to have to move up and balloon up to probably like a 160. If he can even get up that much. 160, even to 154. 155 on the night of the fight. Can he get up that high? We're talking about he's going to have to gain potentially 20 plus pounds for that fight. And so it's like, it's still stacked in favor for Jake Paul to have a huge advantage in, even though this is still a fight that skill-wise he has no shot. But size-wise, yes, there is a chance that something could happen. We gotta be real about it. Every fight that Jake Paul has had has been stacked abhorrently in his favor. In some way, shape, or form, and I hate it. Also, Dry Turkey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. So glad you're with us on today. Let me see. Tank isn't those guys though. He's a circus fighter. Yeah. At this point, yeah, we gotta say it. Arguably, Tank's best win is Barrios, who lost to a 46-year-old. Pacquiao. That's the thing. His best win right now is either Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios, and or Pedraza or Santa Cruz, or Frank Martin. Most likely being either Barrios or Ryan Garcia. Those would be the best wins this far. And that's not good. That's not good. I've said that for years. That's not good, and those are your best wins. And the even dudes who lost many fights, Anthony Hendricks, 80s, the next Sugar Ray Olympic champion who lost many bumps, I respect way more than, yes, losing isn't the problem. It is taking the test. We just take the test. Take the test, but you don't. That's it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. Paulo Malignaggi had a way better career than Tank. AB even had a way better, AB definitely. AB absolutely had a better career. Adrian Broner he had a way better career than Tank. Yeah, there's a plethora of people that have had a better career than Tank right now. And so it's like, It's in Tank biggest fight was Pedraza 2017. Again, it's whichever one you want to pick. It's bad, not because I don't respect Ryan Garcia or I don't respect Pedraza or I don't respect Mario Barrios, but he should be so far along from those types of names that it's not even funny. Yet still, those are the best people he's fought against. There is stagnation to such a decrepit degree. It's almost regression. And it's the worst thing in the world. It's an exhibition, so it won't go on the record. You're right. And again, that's another thing that's stacked in the deck of Jake Paul. If he loses to Tank, it won't go on his record, so heck. But even still, it will still have an effect on their careers. If we see Jake Paul somehow or some way beat and or knock out the likes of Tank, Tank and his reputation, though this is still an all-encompassing, stupidly weight gap type of fight, he will never recover. He'll never recover. If Tank loses this fight in the eyes of the people, he'll never recover. He won't recover. I think I said it earlier. He will not recover from it. And if Jake Paul loses this fight in the eyes of the people, though again it's an exhibition, he won't recover from that either. And if Jake Paul does win, he will, in terms of win the fight in the eyes of the public, he will go on and use that to get a fight with Canelo or Anthony Joshua. Most likely Anthony Joshua now more than anything. He will do it. If we see Jake Paul somehow by some miracle take this fight, I guarantee you, exhibition or not, but he's going to tout it as, yeah, I did the thing. I did what I did what I did. I went 10 rounds with the one of the pound for pound hardest hitters in the world and came out on top. Ooh, look at me. I'm a bad brother. Even the best of the best can't beat me. Huh? Even Tank, who's a killer, can't stop me. It's a stupid thing. But that's what's going to happen. Exhibitions are never just exhibitions. They always get serious. And somebody does, in fact, win or lose that fight because it's still a fight. I brought it up before earlier. Inoue had an exhibition. Or Inoue had an exhibition over in Japan against a 135-pound champion when he was at 118. And I think he came in because he was still, cutting weight. Came in at 130 himself. And guess what? After round 5, they took off the headgear. And they went full-blown trying to fight. And guess what? Inoue won. People got bloodied up and everything. Oh, no. There's never just an exhibition. Because it don't count, don't mean nothing from the standpoint of, yes, officially it doesn't matter. But it's still, somebody is going to lose that fight. Tyson did beat Roy Jones Jr. in their exhibition. That did happen. Floyd Mayweather did beat Gotti in their exhibition. That did happen. All 3 times. It did happen. That's not going away. Who won or who lost? Somebody won and somebody lost. Though it ain't official. Somebody won and somebody lost. It should have been that this was the fight that happened against Mike Tyson. That shouldn't have counted for the record. But even Mike Tyson had the guts to say, nah, this is going to count for real. I'm 56 years old. I don't care. I think I'm that good and I can beat this brother. Yeah, no, this is the real thing. This is going to count for something. He at least had the guts to do that. He at least had the bravado to do that. For that fight. And Tank ain't even doing that for this one. Tank is even trying to advocate for this to be a legitimate fight. We saw Tyson go around the country telling people, no, this counts. This ain't a fake thing. This is real. This is going on my record if I lose or if I win. He was going around touting that. Tank ain't even trying to fight for that. And Jake Paul showing up ain't trying it. It's going to say, yeah, that's fine with me. Because again, it's the best opposition he's ever faced. And if he does get beat, he can say, it didn't count. It's whatever. Great experience. Now I'm going to go back to actually do the real thing and fight against the likes of Anthony Joshua. And that one's going to count for real. I guarantee you that's what he's going to say. If he loses. And it's the worst thing. I hate it. I think is Tank the first real boxing troll? He trolling out here. Well, one, he's not trolling. He's for real. It's not a troll. It's the real thing. It's the real deal. It absolutely is the real deal. No question about that. It's just the fact that we've seen, again, Mayorga was a troll. Margarito was a troll. They get on him. Roberto Duran would do some insane stuff. But he was still a killer. We've seen other trolls in boxing in the past. From the standpoint of whether it's in ring or out of ring, we've seen it. He isn't the first one. But he's not moving like a troll. He's moving. He's doing what he's taught. Tank is just doing what he was taught. Because he was taught by Floyd Mayweather about the business. The business side of boxing. The perfect example. And hopefully I can find the clip, but it's perfect example of in regards to this fight Like the brother genuinely was taught by Floyd Mayweather that no matter what anybody else says to do, you do what you want to do. People gonna love when you fight. People gonna love you. When you fight, people gonna hate you. So regardless of which, do what you want to do. I got money by doing what I wanted to do. You do that same thing, and you can get like me. That's legitimate, almost verbatim. Excuse me, almost verbatim. That's what Floyd told Tank on a plane, recorded as advice for his career. He's just doing that now. And see, and I'll even bring this clip up about why he fights. I'll bring this up real quick because this would be some good context as well. This is an interview about why Tank exactly fights. Now, I'm gonna tell you why it's important.
Another thing about fighters, they wanted to box, or their father made them box. I had to box. I had to get myself out of my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was coming to, I didn't say I'm gonna be this
champion.
Yeah, undisputed champion. Nigga, I was saying I need to get money. I need to get out of my situation. It's another thing why I say, like, once I get to, while I'm at this level, like, it's no point, like, it's no more point to prove to myself. Cause I already, you feel me? I did what I came to do.
And so that's his ideology of why he likes to fight. But wait, or why he needed to fight to get out of the situation. I can agree with it. But then at the same time, same interview. Where's it?
30-0 on paper. He might be.
This is him talking about other fighters in the division saying they ain't worth nothing. Why would I need to fight them?
30-0 on paper, but who the nigga fought? Yeah. So it looked good on paper, but there don't be nobody.
So you can't go and say you can't go and say that you had to fight and you say you ain't got nothing to prove and then be judgmental that other people haven't proved anything. As if you've done something great in your own right. And then on top of that, don't forget in lieu of the Frank Martin fight, we had this about what Tank was saying. This is well after that interview that I showed you all in both of those clips.
Same hit list, or have it changed?
It's anybody at 135. It's not that just them.
Are you interested in being undisputed at 135?
Yeah, for sure.
So what do I need to play it again?
It's not that just them.
Are you interested in being undisputed at 135?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, look at this! We got some problems here. We got some problems here.
Do you see what I'm saying about being hypocritical? You say you ain't got nothing to prove to yourself. You say you had to fight, you don't want to fight. And you say that you ain't got, I'm just here to get money, get paid. Then you say that other people ain't done stuff, so why should they be talking about in the same breath as you? Because they got 30-0, but they ain't got no names. They ain't like me, so why in the world are they really great? When you ain't great yourself. So you can actually care about what the people around you are doing if they are greater than you. So you ain't just here for the money. And then you go and say, do you want to go and would you be interested in going for undisputed? This is before the Frank Martin fight, as you can see right here. And he said, yeah, for sure. No hesitation. So apparently, money ain't the only thing that's driving you, per your own words. So, which is it, Tank? Did you have to fight? Do you want to fight? Do you not care? Do you actually care? It's walking hypocrisy. It is walking hypocritical nature. It's a walking joke that this brother has been able to get away with this sort of ineptitude and stupidity and inconsistency, yet it is just all well and good. Like I said, I'm not trying just to bring stuff up. These are receipts over the years with other things that we've also covered on this very show, like with, where's it at? What? I know I had to say. I know I had to say. I got to say somewhere. It's here somewhere. Hold on. Wait a minute. Doggone it. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait 1 second. I'm going to find it. Don't forget. Where's it at? Give me 1 second. I'm going to find the clip. Don't forget this. Once I can find, don't forget this clip about what Tank's been doing. Where's it at? Brother, come on now. Don't do this to me. I'm trying to find the clip of Tank Davis. It's here somewhere. Where he was going through and talking about his list of fighters that he said he wanted to fight that were all like ducks in a row, yet nothing came to fruition. If I can, as I'm talking, I'm gonna find it. As I'm talking, I'm gonna find it. Nonetheless, but even still, but you get what I'm saying when it comes to Tank and the hypocrisy of a brother that just does not that either he doesn't know. Here it is, right here. Here it is.
Being a fighter. How many
Here's right here. Don't forget, Tank also said this about the hit list that he said that he wanted.
more years you think?
It depends. I got some people I want to get.
Like who?
I don't want to say their names, but
Just say yes or no. Haney?
yes,
Lomachenko?
yes,
Tiafimo?
yes. Not really so much to Teofimo.
Not so much. How come?
Because it's like, I don't know. Just
Be clear. In the and build up to that fight with Frank Martin, he did confirm that, yeah, Teofimo, after the racist comments, yeah, he is definitely on the list. So he's still there.
he ain't really like, I mean, if the fight like prevents itself, then yeah, but other than that,
He's not on your list.
Yeah, it's not on my, he's not.
Cambosis? No. Is there anyone I'm missing, or is that it?
Yeah, but I don't want to say his name.
Shakur?
Yeah.
That's another one. I feel like that.
What? And so, hypocritical again. Because the brother, what the world? Because you had all those names. But you don't care. And you only care about the money. You just in it for the money. Yet you say who you want to knock off. You care about other people being seen as greater than you because they got records, but you said they ain't got no names. And so, legacy matters. Legacy doesn't matter. Money is what you're here for. Money ain't what you're here for. You want bodies on your resume, but everybody too big. You can't fight at 130. You can't fight at 140, but you can fight at 190. You can fight Jake Paul, but you can't fight David Haney. But you're contradicting that you didn't want to move up to fight. So I don't understand. I don't understand. There's so many different things that you say that make no sense. And people let this slide. And that's why we are where we are. That's why we are where we are. That's why we are where we are. It's the worst thing in the world, man. It's the worst thing in the world. And I can't tell you. Let me see, Fight Night. How you doing? Good to see 100. Thank you for tuning into the show. Please thank 100%. Yeah, the people are saying they hope Tank knocks out Jake Paul. Brother, do you also understand that if Jake Paul does knock out Tank, the credibility of the sport will go down the toilet? Do you understand that? That's another risk. If Tank does fail somehow, some way in fighting this, it'll ruin the sport as a whole. When Francis Ngannou almost beat Tyson Fury, That was at least going up against the heavyweight champion versus the UFC heavyweight champion, who was predominantly a striker and was seen and validated by multiple sports and multiple athletes as one of the toughest brothers in the world. And legitimately, this brother can fight potentially against anybody. Yes, it was highly unlikely, but he at least had the pedigree of, okay, yeah, he might be able to do something. When he showed up and did something, hey, brother, oh my gosh. It was like, it was something. But this is completely different. Because if Tank, who's been consistently, quote unquote, the face of boxing, loses to a bum like Jake Paul, which is entirely possible because Jake Paul is 70 pounds heavier than him and actually can fight. There's a real possibility that, brother, if that goes away, brother, everything about the sport goes away. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. The ripple effects of what this potentially do. See, it's not just about, oh, it's a spectacle. But if it's a spectacle that goes wrong, if it's a spectacle that goes wrong for one of the biggest cash cows, brother, for one of the biggest cash cows in the world, if PBC, I don't get into the business side often, because we care about the fights predominantly on this show. But if the PBC had Tank Davis, their best fighter, lose, but they're done. Like, what is there to market? What is there to market? What is there to rely on? What is the backbone of that organization now? What is there? Nobody would take Tank seriously against anybody else anymore. They would. Even with this being a stupid weight discrepancy of 70 plus pounds, they wouldn't take him seriously. The stock would drop so much it would not be possible to recover. Even with the 70-pound weight difference, this fight, if Tank loses, would not be recoverable for his legacy, which he already doesn't have one. But it wouldn't be recoverable for his name value as well. Just Tank being Tank, but he would just be Gervonta. Not even name. He would just be Davis. Just like all the other Davises in the world of boxing. Because what is there to fear? You lost to Jake Paul. But Shakur's going to beat you to kingdom come. Schofield's going to kill you. Teofimo Lopez kill you. He would never be favored. He would never be the A side. He would never be anything. He is not even the A side in this fight. Do you understand that? He is not even the A side for this fight. And we hate A side, B side talk. Despise it. But that's the reality of what the thing that Tank has been propagated with. And Tank is not the A side in this fight. Because he is literally, and from a popularity standpoint, not the biggest brother in this fight. More people know Jake Paul than Tank. Jake Paul has brought in so much money, in so much less fights. It has become, at minimum, as infamous of a star as Tank is a famous star. Jake Paul has matched Tank's fame with his own infamy, which was the goal. But that's what's happened. And now we see, brother, if Tank loses, oh, that's washed away. It's done. Forget two Ferraris from Turkey Al Sheikh, brother. You would be lucky to get a stinking 2004 Volvo. That's a good car. It's a reliable car. But you would be lucky to get that. A Buick. An 08 Buick. You would be lucky to get a Volkswagen Beetle if you lost the Tank. if you lost to Jake Paul. All that noise, but that's over. That's done. You can never negotiate a thing in your life again. Most likely. You will be the laughing stock of Univision and beyond. You will be the laughing stock of if we keep it real on this show. We keep it real on this show. It may sound violent, excuse me, not vile. Hopefully it ain't violent. It may sound violent, but it's real. You would be the disappointment of Baltimore if you lost to Jake Paul. Do you understand that? That's the risk you would be the disappointment of your city if you lost to Jake Paul. I'm not saying that as hyperbole. I am saying you cannot tell. You cannot tell me that if Baltimore's on the pride of that city that he reps so hard. If he, without a legacy of greatness, mind that, without a legacy of greatness, if he lost to Jake Paul, like, brother, he might not ever even go back to the city. Because without his pride, this is what we talked about. It's insane. It would be horrible. I'm telling you. It's the ripple effects of this, not just about the fight. It's about what comes after. It's about what comes beyond the fight. And even with the fight itself, also understand with the fight itself, also understand Tank Davis. And I've been waiting to say this for a minute. I've been waiting to say, where's my thing? Where's my thing? Doggone it, where's it at? Here we go. Tank Davis. I never want to hear you be even in the sniffing of top 15 pound for pound ever again in my life. You aren't just annexed from that conversation, but you're annexed from ever entering into the void in the first place. You are never allowed to even have the words pound for pound and your name in the same vein. Never. You're never allowed to be called great. You're never allowed to be called the face of anything. You're never allowed to be called a pound for pound anything. The only pound for pound I better hear is a pound for pound in weight extravagant the price when I'm trying to buy a pound cake. That's the only thing I want to hear. How much do I want to pay for per pound of pound cake when I go to Baltimore? That's the only thing. I never want to hear you in legacy or championships or status ever said again. Because you will never hear that out of my mouth. After this, you have forfeited your right to everything. After you signing on to this fight, win, lose, or draw, you signing on to this fight has completely shut the door on any opportunity to be seen and respected as a great fighter in my eyes. I will never disrespect your talent of what you are, but your legacy will be that of dirt when I look at it. It sounds harsh, but I gave you chance after chance after chance after chance to go through and do something, anything, to go and make and to go and live up to just a fifth of your expectations. That's all I asked for, just a fifth, just one. All I asked for was a fight with Shakur, T.O., Devin, or Abdullah. Just one of them. That was the bare minimum. You fight one of those names that we feel can really beat you, and you beat them, or just at worst, you fight them, we have nothing to go. Okay. It's going to be the best time I get. I at least got that. He at least answered that question. I okay. Though it would have still been despicable. We could at least have the satisfaction of saying he fought X and this happened. But you taking this fight even before fighting the rematch with Lamont Roach, who, mind you, was at the bottom of the totem pole for people we ever expected to give you a tough time, or even better, we were not saying Lamont should even be in the ring with you. And this brother from out of nowhere showed up and gave you the toughest fight of your career. And now you have a means to validate your legacy, validate just, not even your legacy, just your talent. Not even your legacy. Just validate how good you are. Not how great you are, how good you are. By beating Lamont. That would at least answer something. But you didn't even do that. And you ran to the likes of Tank. You don't deserve my respect or anybody's respect when it comes to the word of boxing. From a legacy standpoint. You will never, and I say this as clear. I say this with as much fact and as much conviction as I have in the fact that I'm black, as I have in the fact that the sky is blue. I will never give Tank the ability to ever say he was a great fighter. I would never. He is a great talent. And from the perspective of fighting ability, great fighter. But in terms of great fighter from the standpoint of legacy, those words would never speak out of my mouth. They would never. You fought, just like with Kevin Durant, when he forfeited his ability to be within that top 5 GOAT conversation, top 5, top 6, whatever the word you want to have, when he went to Golden State, who had already won 73 in 9 games, or 73 wins, broke the Bulls record. You were 1 win away from bouncing them out the playoffs. You lose to them based on your bad performances, and then you went and joined them to make them the most unstoppable team we'd ever seen in NBA history. And you, with that being the case, still are viewed at as what you're viewed at. It's because of you can never get up. You can never elevate. You can only be where you are because you forfeited your right when you made the move that you did. It's the worst thing in the world. Tank is falling into that threshold. If you are a Tank fan, I'm gonna tell you this right now. We are as fair can be, but I will never give you the leeway to call Tank a great fighter from a legacy standpoint. I would never give you the leeway to say this brother has done accolades that are worth praising. No. I would never give you the leeway to say that Tank Davis is somebody that's worth my time caring about. In the grand scheme of the sport, Tank is a blip. Tank is a speck. Tank is a literal node on the circuit board of boxing that if he did not exist, this computer could run smoother. If we're talking about technology. You can have both legacy and money. You should not have to sacrifice money for legacy. And if you achieve legacy, you should get money. But if you do sacrifice the legacy for money, you then deserve to get talked about in a different frame of light. If that's what this is. You don't deserve to be put in those conversations because you did not do the things to be put in those conversations. In fact, your value just got devalued if you go about it in a very negative way, like we see with Tank right now. And it should not be seen as a surprise or you're being too harsh. No, we're not. If we're comparing you to all these other greats and you spit on what they did, and you go and do what you do, which is the complete opposite, why should we sit here and be as if it's just it's something to be worthy of? It's not. Because you brought this on yourself. You made your bed, now go to sleep. And don't ask us to wake you up because you said you wanted to sleep. Don't come to us and say, why the world does nobody respect me when you moved like you move in your career? Don't come up to us and say, why in the world you don't value us like you did when you didn't move like you moved. You see exactly what Floyd's doing, that same thing. Hey, brother, don't forget, Floyd Mayweather's doing that, going through that exact same thing right now with his own career. Because he's going off the deep end. At times he's going off the deep end when it comes to disrespecting Muhammad Ali, saying he's better than every other fighter, called himself the greatest ever, disrespecting Sugar Ray Robinson, disrespecting Roy Jones Jr., disrespecting all these other champions. Because he's not getting the love that he feels he deserves in his career. And we're calling that brother one of the 15 greatest fighters in history, which I agree with. But he's not getting that level of respect that he feels he deserves as the greatest. You know why? Because the reasons why he's being held back is because of the people that he did not fight, or the people that he did fight but were at the right time when they were past their prime, or contextually they were not the version of the fighter that could have actually beaten Floyd or could have given him the real toughest test. And he picked and chose very wisely when and where to fight people. Shane Mosley was not in the best version when he fought against him. Ricky Hatton, great win, no disrespect to it, but Floyd Mayweather was leagues better than him. As a fighter, was leagues better. This ain't disrespecting Ricky Hatton, it's just the truth of the matter. But everybody else that was either at that level that could have beaten him, could have really tested him, could have given him some real work when they were at their best, like Manny Pacquiao. When he was in his prime, he did not fight them. Waited people out. It happened. That in aspect is held against him. Because when you take a look back, context is very important. Context is what's made the pound for pound list. Context is what is keeping him out of that because he did not do a certain threshold of work. And Floyd Mayweather did a whole bunch of work. We're not disrespecting that. But even still, there's a limit. And that's Floyd Mayweather, who we don't disrespect. We understand how great he really is. I'm just giving you the truth. But that's still all-time great. And he's moving like this. And he's mad he's not getting the respect he deserves. Brother, Tank better. Tank can keep on telling himself that he's tired of the sport, that he's sick of what's going on. He's tired of the rah-rah. He can keep telling himself that. He can keep telling himself, I'm going to leave. I'm getting out of here. I'm done. He can keep telling himself that. And I do believe that's what he wants to do. But I promise you, if he's taken so much after Floyd Mayweather, when his career is done, and it's going to be soon, it is going to be a situation where it's going to be, he feels disrespected. He feels forgotten. He feels unwanted. He feels like, where's my legacy? Where's my statue? Where are my flowers that I deserve? And we're going to say, what flowers? Did somebody die? Condolences if so. But what flowers are you talking about? Because there's no, if you're talking about legacy flowers, you didn't have one. If you're talking about what you're worth in this boxing game in the long run, you're not worth anything. You are a highlight fighter that we will say, oh man, look at this knockout by this guy. That's going to be, but it's not going to be a Oh yeah. I remember Tank. Oh man, what a talent it's gonna be, man. Tank was great, but your career is gonna be a butt type career. Not from the body part, but from like it's gonna be every time we bring you up, it's gonna be the XYZ, but you didn't do XYZ or ABC. You had this, that, and the third going for you, but you went and you fell off the face of the earth. You had this, we wanted to see Shakur, we think you could have beaten him, but you fought Jake Paul. So, what's there to say? He existed. He was there. He was alive. He did fight. But it's nothing really of note. It's nothing really worthwhile. And don't forget also, if I got my stuff right, don't forget, when we were bringing up the whole situation with Tank and his career, remember I was trying to defend what Calvin Ford was saying? With what Tank was going to do, with how Tank's going to fight, with what Tank has in store for the sport. Give it some time, he's going to be something special. Y'all remember that conversation? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that interview? Do you all remember that those words? If I can find it, I can show you. If I can find it, I can show it. If I can find it, shoot. Did I not have it saved? Thought I had it saved, did I not? Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. No, yeah, I think this is it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up for you, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Cause I know it's here. I know it's here. Tank Roach, Tank announcement. Jake Paul confirming the thing. Going through the interview. Another interview. Is it not there? Wait a minute, hold on. I know I got my stuff to say. Wait a minute, hold. Is this it? Dang it, I'm sorry. I can't find, for the life of me, I can't find the clip, but we had, here it is. Yeah. Here it is right here. I knew I was gonna find it. Here it is right here. Let me. I'm sorry for the pause. I was trying to get the clip up. I thought I had it saved, but I didn't. But here we go. Y'all remember what Calvin Ford said?
Wasn't him. Outside the ring and in the ring. What was going on in that last fight? Because a lot of people were confused. To tell you the truth, I couldn't even tell you. But right now, stay tuned. I'm telling you, stay tuned. Yeah. You know, a lot of people said that wasn't Tank. You know what I'm saying? And it touched my heart that people recognized it, that it wasn't him. But it's a connection. Just like our brand, Box Raw, it's a connection. Anybody that you build a relationship, it's a connection. We're going to see you guys back together. Well, we are together. We're always together. We're always together. Trust what I'm saying. Outside the ring and in the ring.
The brother said, stay tuned. We're going to show y'all something. And lo and behold, brother, they showed us. Oh my gosh. My goodness. I mean, it's ridiculous. And again, this is gonna, I don't mean for this to be. And I think I saw somebody comment, this is the biggest tank roast in the history of YouTube. I straight up park up and shoot, not drive up. Nah, look and see. Look, and it's like, you gotta understand. The whole show got turned upside down because of this. And to be clear, we got time. We can go into the championship rounds. Well, because let's not forget, good gosh, we almost at 3 hours. Shoot, we can go into the championship rounds right now. Hey, whatever you want to talk about and discuss, if you want to, anything in boxing or beyond, we can talk about it right here on the show. But this wasn't supposed to be a Tank episode. It wasn't. Be clear. It wasn't. This wasn't even the furthest thing on my mind. Like not at all. We could have been talking about Benavidez versus Yard, getting ready to break that down, going into further with Canelo and Crawford. We had a plethora of things, but this just came out of such left field. Like we can't ignore this. We can't. And this has been, if you've been following the channel, this has been upwards of a year and a half of us going through this type of mess. It's been a year and a half of this. Upwards of 2, dare I say 3, since I've started this channel. After Ryan Garcia, it was like, brother, what are you doing? This has been built up for so long. It's been built up for so long, and people just kept on saying it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse. It can't get any worse. That was the whole phrase. It can't get any worse. And let me see, a Shark, how you doing as well? I think I missed your chat. I'm so sorry. How you doing? Good to see you. Shakur must detest Tank, but a bunch of people do. A bunch of people do. And it's like Fury and Wilder, they took fights. Most fighters at least took a fight that was worth their weight in gold. That's all we're asking from people. Just fight the people that are worth your weight in gold, or at least around the same weight in gold of what your value is and what you are as a fighter. That's all we're saying to do. But if you don't, it's like it's one of the worst things we can have. But he brought this. Tank going to the Hall of Fame, brother. No, he ain't. After this, I don't think he will. I think I'm flipping. I might have thought he was, but I don't think he'll get the respect to go into the Hall of Fame. Like I said, he's got a worse career than Adrian Broner. And Adrian Broner is most likely he's got a better case at going. Paulie Malignaggi, is Paulie in the Hall of Fame? Let me check. Is he a Hall of Famer? No, well, shoot, never mind. I'll take that bet. If Paulie Malignaggi is a Hall of Fame, then okay, Tank can be a Hall of Fame. But even Paulie Malignaggi didn't do this. And brother, honestly, this should forfeit him from the Hall. Honestly, this should forfeit him from the Hall of Fame. This fight should forfeit him from the Hall of Fame. If I had my way. And even Paulie himself is saying that the Hall of Fame is watered down. If I had my way, this would not. You couldn't. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's absolutely no way this should happen. None whatsoever. It's so bad. It's so bad. If Tank is going to the Hall, so should Rolly. At this point, yeah, Rolly's being at the yeah. If Tank is going, Rolly should go. If Tank is going, Rolly should go. If Tank is going, Rolly should go as well. It's such a frustrating thing, man. Danny Garcia, better career than Tank. Mikey Garcia, better career than Tank. Fought better opposition than Tank. Did more than Tank. Like, we keep bringing him up. Black Murderers Row, 1,900 guys, had some 250 fights. What was it? Somebody. I think I know who you're talking about. They had that record or something close to it. But yeah, I'm not putting Mayweather over them. So Mayweather not even top 50. And again, like I said, all-time list, subjective. No question about it. Those people do deserve to be on that list as well. The people that you brought a name, the 250 and 9, 1900s, a couple of the people that were annexed from being able to become world champions because of segregation. So they had to fight in the Negro League and essentially fight for the Negro titles because they had to make their own titles. Absolutely. They deserve to be there as well. I feel Floyd should be in that conversation. Higher or lower, okay, sure, I can argue. But he deserves to be in that conversation because he is one of the best I've seen. And the resume is worth that type of acclaim. It is. For all the stuff that we say about it. It does deserve the respect. It does deserve respect. Where you put him at, that's completely up to you. I have no issue with that. But for the sense of, for Tank to get there, which is, looking at who is there, he probably gonna get there. But he shouldn't get there. I mean, it's the worst thing. It's like, I'm telling you. And you know what? We said all this. We talked about how he doesn't deserve to be in the conversation for GOAT. Or excuse me, we talked about how Tank doesn't deserve to be in the conversation for pound for pound ever again. He's no longer in his respect as a fighter is going down to the dirt. If he went for the bag, that's fine. He does not deserve to be in certain conversations of greatness and or of talent. If we say that that Shakur would beat him, that he's not better than him, it's because he took fights like this. If we say that Abdullah Mason can beat him, it's because he took fights like this. If we say that he is scared of competition, it's because he took fights like this with Jake Paul. And so we're not going to let the bag overshadow, at least he's getting paid, over, at least he's doing work. Because if you ain't doing work, that's what we care about. We want you to get your money. But we also, more importantly, or just as importantly, you got to do stuff worth the money. We're still paying customers, are we not? We want you to take the test because we want to pay to see what the results of that test are going to be. But we're paying. His cash is coming from us paying for the fight. Understand that. So I'm never going to say that somebody's legacy is over the money, though I always advocate for fighters to get their money. But if you move a certain way for the money, you are disqualified from conversations when it comes to talent and greatness if it goes that way, because you forfeited your right. And you can't say I'm wrong for looking at it that way when you know I'm about the substance of a fighter. I'm about the substance of a fighter. Again, and then we can't then go and say that we can't then complain that the sport's diluted. We can't then complain that the belts mean nothing. We can't then complain that the greatness of the past isn't being held up, but then let this stuff slide with Tank being able to take these fights and it's going through because people are willing to pay for it and tune into it. We can't let that, that's another hypocrisy of an argument, because then it makes it so, well, which one is it? Because you're saying as a fan, you want the legacy, but then you also don't go about appreciating legacy when it happens. And when anybody is doing great stuff, guess what you say? Oh, it doesn't matter. Who did they fight? Oh, it don't matter. You ain't fought nobody great. Huh? All of a sudden the belt means nothing. Huh? In a way, who? Crawford who? Huh? Devin Haney ain't fought nobody. Ain't that what happens? Devin Haney ain't fought nobody. Teofimo Lopez, hey brother, he's never really undisputed. Outside of Lomachenko, who he beat? Ain't that what y'all always say? Isn't that what always comes up? You ain't got a real resume of talent. You ain't got a real names that are great for you. Crawford, you ain't a Hall of Famer. Huh? You beat Spence. So what? Who else? Ain't that what Canelo's saying? Ricky Burns ain't nothing. Gamboa ain't nothing. Sean Porter ain't nothing. Isn't this the conversation? Is this not what we keep hearing? Across the board, Tank disrespecting fighters within and outside of his weight class because of who they fought. They ain't fought nobody, yet they fought better people than you and have been more consistent and have been more active. They want to fight you, but you ain't fighting them because they ain't proved nothing. And fans went along and said, yep, you ain't done nothing. You ain't proved nothing. You ain't fought nothing. So how can you fight Tank? Well, then who in the world do I need to fight to be able to be worthy to fight the great Tank Davis? If he ain't fought nobody, if my best is better than him, but I ain't worthy to fight him, but can he even fight himself? Would Tank be worthy enough to fight himself? No. Yet still, they let it slide. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Yet that is the argument that has made it so that Tank has been untouchable for the vast majority of the boxing public because nobody knew anybody else but Tank, and anybody else who isn't Tank, guess what? You don't matter because you're not Tank. Now y'all better listen when we say that names are actually valued. It ain't just about the belt, though the belt is important. It ain't just about the money, though the money is necessary. It is about who you fought, when you fought them, and how did you win. More importantly, how was the fight? Or just as importantly, how was the fight? The substance of the matter at hand is the matter at hand that matters more than anything else. Everything else got pushed above the foray. And it's caused this cascading effect of danger that has now made everybody else confused as to what greatness is or what greatness is not. And now people are starting to realize, wait a minute, Tank was never great at all. What is the actual bar for a fighter who deserves my respect? That's what's being talked about now. You jumped off the bandwagon of Tank, but what can you do now? Who you fighting with now? Who you rooting for now? If not with Tank, because Tank was your end all be all. See, we are in what did I? And I think this will be the last thing. Did I not also warn you all about what's going to happen when this does come forth and Tank fans start to wane? Whether it was with a loss to Shakur or just in general, he loses respect for the public. Guess what happens? Now they're scrambling. Now they're trying to defend it. Now they're going into, oh my gosh, my world is crumbling and I don't know what to do. And I can't rely on just Tank being Tank to save me, to validate my fandom, validate why I support him. You can't. They can't. Now they're either in three different states. Either they are bewildered and confused and questioning why the world did I support him. Either they're defending and hunkering down and trying to, like a fanatic, like a zealot, like a cultist, go through and try to, you can do no wrong. No, it couldn't be Tank. Tank's not this. Tank's not that. Tank can, how dare you disrespect, hyperventilating, almost passing out. Trying to go against every commenter that goes their way, saying, hey, brother, this your guy? Ain't this your man? This your dude. You're a victim. You're a victim. Hey, didn't you say this? You're a victim. Receipts coming back out at you. You're a victim. Ain't that what's been happening? Or three. And with those receipts, they're panicking and they're becoming nigh hysterical. or 3, they are saying, I'm done. Either way, the 2 of those 3 options that we're seeing fans go through are either they're in limbo or they're falling away. It's either you're in limbo and you're getting ready to leave and you question everything, or you're leaving and you're done with everything. And then there's a portion of it that's trying to double down and die with the ship. But guess what? They're getting ready to drown. And they know it. So either way, everybody knows, hey, brother, we're all getting ready to fall into the abyss. And either I get out now, I question whether I get out now, or I don't get out. But either way, we all gonna hurt. We all gonna hurt. Because we stayed on this sinking ship too long. And we kept on letting the captain, who is Tank, tell us that we're floating just fine. There's nothing wrong with the hull. It's smooth sailing, and there's nothing for us to worry about. Well, we were taking on water. And we could have boarded up the ship if we had just not let the captain lie to us. But we took his word and said, yeah, we're good. And now look at us, we're getting ready to tip over like the Titanic. Play a sad song while you're going down. Or you jump out while you can. But either way, you are in the stranded sea with nothing but the waves and the crashing of disappointment, disdain, disrespect, vitriol, ire, laughing stock, pathetic nature, utter disregard for you as a fan because of now who you support, just like you were doing to everybody else. Now that's on you, and you're stuck because there's nothing you can say. There's no argument that you can say for Tank that cannot be shut down with he's fighting Jake Paul. He can beat anybody he wants. He's fighting Jake Paul. He could knock out Shakur Stevens. He's fighting Jake Paul. Shakur was free. He is a free agent to this day. And Lamont Roach could have signed on November 15th, the same day that yesterday, if Tank really did want that fight and made the offer and went to the table like he was supposed to. But the brother, he's fighting Jake Paul. You think he can run through 135? I don't think he can. You know why? Because he's fighting Jake Paul. Huh? You think Devin Haney's not a test for Tank? Well, I do. You know why? Because he's fighting Jake Paul. You think that Tank is the face of boxing? I don't. Do you know why? Because the face of boxing is not fighting Jake Paul. But you are. So excuse me. If it seems like I'm not giving you a chance to breathe, because I'm not giving you a chance to breathe, because you supporting this forfeited your right to have a conversation about why Tank is all that in a bag of chips when the brother could have fought just like with, where's my mic? Let me turn it down so I can make it a little more concrete. Just like with Lomachenko. He could have fought Lomachenko when Lomachenko was free. And he was free after Hector Garcia. And he didn't fight him. Just like he could have fought Isaac Cruz in a rematch immediately after his hand healed and didn't fight him. Just like he could have fought the likes of Shakur Stevenson this week. Or directly after Frank Martin. Before Shakur had his great breakout performance against William Zepeda, you could have fought him then. And we still wanted to see it. And you didn't. And you didn't fight him now. The second time he was available. when he was the biggest ticket at the division. And just like you didn't fight Lamont Roach now, after he gave you all that work and you were on the cusp, you were one knockdown away from, you were one round away from losing. A knockdown and a correct decision away from losing that fight. And you don't want to get back. You could have gotten it immediately. And rescheduling apparently is a breeze. Apparently, it don't matter that you weren't training for 6 months because of the domestic violence dispute. Because guess what? But you back and ready to fight right now? 3 months from now, you sitting high on the hog. It's as if nothing was really wrong. But you took the route with Jake Paul. With all of those options in play. I don't want to hear a thing from anybody that supports Tank telling me that I go too hard. I don't want to hear a thing. And most of the people that were talking about Tank like that are not in the chat today. And I wish they were. A lot of the people that were talking about Tank, defending this type of stuff, standing up for what Tank is, doing all, they are not in the chat today. And I wish they were. Not because I'm trying to belittle them. And not because I'm trying to, oh, I got you. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want them here because I love the community. I love the chat. I love the conversation. I love the discourse. It's great. And I'm trying to build something great. And more people come in, more people that can see the thing. Everybody. And again, I'm not saying, oh, there's a couple from months and months and months ago that were talking. Months ago that were talking. Every time we had a Tank topic. They aren't here right now. Those of you that are here, no, you're here. I'm not talking about you. The others, and this ain't shots at them either. But I'm saying they needed to be here because this is a stroke of reality that they were not willing to accept. And I wanted them to understand this is the issue when you let your fandom overshadow your wisdom in the sport. Because now you became blind to the very things that you said were killing the very sport that you love. And now you are in the worst of the worst situations and you're asking how we got here. And we were trying to tell you your favorite fighter is the reason why we got here. Now do you see why we were saying what we were saying? Now will you hold his feet to the fire and jump on the train of be great by being great? Don't be great by just telling us you're great. That's all. That's all. It's not, understand, it's not good that I'm having this conversation. It's not good that we're having this level of discourse, It's not good that we are 3 hours and 21 minutes into this stream of me talking about one topic in Tank Davis fighting Jake Paul. It is not good at all. Be clear on that. It is not good. Yes, I can get some clips out of this. Yeah, sure. Hopefully this will make some people come into the show. Hopefully, if you liking what you're hearing, you'll want to give to the channel, Cash App and PayPal, links down below. Just to do a shameless plug. But, like, this isn't good. This isn't great. This isn't news we want to talk about. This isn't news that helps make the sport better. This is the culmination of us saying, we warned you and now we're here and there's nothing we can do to stop it. Unless something catastrophic happens and makes the fight just blow up in smoke. We're here now. And tomorrow, again, full-blown conversation. Y'all can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about because, again, it's the championship rounds. So y'all be able to drive the whole of the show. But tomorrow, most likely this is going to happen. We're going to have this conversation again with different points of interest. Not because we want to, but because this is all encompassing. Because it's so shocking, it is ridiculous. It's literally overshadowing everything else that we would want to talk about. It overshadows Arthur Beterbiev. It overshadows Dave Benavidez. This overshadows Canelo and Crawford, which is insane. Which is insane to say. This overshadows Canelo and Crawford in a fight that was supposed to be the biggest thing of the year, the most highly anticipated fight of the year. The best card would have been Benavidez versus Yard, but the biggest fight was Canelo and Crawford. It's not. That's not the case no more. And it sounds crazy to say, but it's not. This fight will be bigger in viewership than Canelo and Crawford, and I don't want that to be the case. I hope it's not the case. I hope people watch it on the rewatch and not on the actual live fight, but people are gonna watch it. And this is why I was so hesitant to say, or so specific to say, Jake Paul being in the sport is good for the sport, because I acknowledge that it's good for the sense of it gets people that were never cared to actually want to see it. And it's garnered new interest from a younger generation. Yes. But what is that interest being built on foundationally? Now we see the real root issue. It is built on a throne of lies. It's built on a foundation of wax. That once people start really standing on it like they're doing right now, they're starting to see, oh, it's melting. Why are we sinking? Because as more people get eyes on it, the kitchen gets hotter. The wax gets hotter. And it starts to mold. Doesn't stay up. It implodes. It sinks in under the weight of you watching. And it's built on wax, so it can't, no matter how much you think it'll stay, it won't. Because inevitably it will sink. It will deform. And it won't be sound. Because it's built on a non-solid foundation. That's why I was saying Jake Paul is good for the sport for bringing eyes to it, but it's bad for the sport because it's killing it. At some point in time, those two dichotomies, helping bringing the sport back to life and killing it at the same time, they were going to crash into each other. And this is that time. This is that time, brother. I'm telling you. It's that time. It's going to get bad. It's going to get very bad. But again, is there anything else anybody wants to say? Because I think we're still in the championship rounds. I'm still going through and looking at your chats. I'm still looking to see if there's any other talking points you all want to discuss. Again, this was going to take up the whole of the time. I did not want to make this the whole topic, but it went how it went. Let me see. Jake Paul said that Tank's team wanted him to rematch Roach. Yep. I did say that earlier in the show as a point as to why, again, the walking hypocrisy of Tank Davis. Again, it's not even his team. It's Tank. They even at least tried to steer him in a direction that was, okay, respectable. And he said no. He went against Calvin Ford. Tank went against Calvin Ford to making this fight happen. Tank went against his own team to make this fight happen, which is a shame. And it's like I said, that's why I put out that short. Win, lose, or draw. Tank could still fight Lamont Roach. Win, lose, or draw. Tank could still fight Lamont Roach. And again, people said I was crazy. People said I don't know what I'm talking about. But now you see why I said what I said. Because this brother is not about the legacy. It's about the money. And because of that, when I demean the value of him and his legacy in today's world, I should not get any flack from the sense of you don't know what you're talking about. You can disagree. But you can't say I ain't got a basis. You can't say you can't say my over a year and a half of speaking out against this is not something that is valid. It's been something that I've just been, and again, I'm not trying to my own horn, but this is why I said what I said, because when it happened, I was going to be like, I did not want to be the one to say, I tell you. And I tried to make it so that we could have a community that would understand we can stop this by forcing Tank to have his feet over the fire and have to work, really work, to keep the standard of respect that we have for him, to be worth being in those pound for pound conversations. Because you got to have substance. And you got a litany of substance in front of you that all you got to do is say yes to it, and it's right there. It's right there. But he went the other way. He willingly, he went the other way. Not by force. Not by held me against gunpoint. Not by there's nothing else better I can do. Not because it was the only thing that was possible. Of your own accord, with 3, and dare I say 4, fights that you could have made, you went and you fought Jake Paul. Of your own volition. Breaking every single rule that you said about yourself as to who you'll fight, how high up you'll go to fight somebody, and what is the limit at which you want to fight. You broke it up. You broke it up. Guess what? If you win, you were supposed to win, and it's a bad win because this fight shouldn't happen, and you still get and lose respect for it. And if you lose, well, sayonara. You think it's bad now? I'm being as cool, calm, collected as possible with this fight right now, talking about it. We ain't even gotten into how the fight's gonna actually happen. I'm being cool, calm, and collected. And this will be the last thing before we end off the show, because I don't think anybody else has anything else they want to say. I think we kind of gotten our everything that we wanted off. And it's been a phenomenal conversation. But this is the last thing. You think I am mad now that this fight got made? And you think people may think I'm a clown or go at unnecessarily at fighters. And I try to be fair in critiquing. I don't do the whole just hate to hate. No, we keep everything even keel. I'm going to tell you this right now, just as a full-blown disclaimer. If Tank does lose to Jake Paul, it's going to get very much unbiased on this show. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you right now. If Tank does lose to Jake Paul, with the weight discrepancy, it is going to get very much disrespectful on this show. I'm going to tell you right now. It is not going to be. We are going to, for this specific instance, we are not going to be unbiased, even keeled. We're not going to be going through and context everything. If he loses to Jake, even with the context of being 70 pounds under, there is going to be conversations you never thought you would hear happen on this show. You think you've seen me mad before. You think you've seen me lose my cool before when it comes to getting passionate about stuff. Brother, sister, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm telling you right now, if that does happen, you've seen passion. And you've seen a little bit of anger. You ain't seen rage. You ain't seen that. Brother, I can go places. I can go some places. When it comes to talk, brother, I don't clown people. I don't clown fighters. We don't. But I'm telling you, if he loses this fight, even with everything that we know going into this fight, that could actually make Tank lose because of the power and size that is going into and that he's giving up, which is egregious. It is egregious. He loses this because it was of his own accord and he contradicted his own words. Oh yeah, no, gloves are off. The gloves are off. I promise you, the gloves are off. It's done. It's done. It's done. The gloves are off. It's off. It's not gonna be even killed. I dare say it won't even be respectful. It's gonna be for one day. For one day, I'm gonna be like some of these other channels that we see out here in the ether that just be hating on one particular fighter for one day. If we see Jake Paul beat Tank for one day, I'm about to, y'all gonna see this channel turn to something completely different. Y'all gonna see if you call me a hater that day, brother, it's gonna be valid. It's gonna be valid. You doggone right. You doggone right. For one day, I'ma hate my heart out. I'ma turn into a person y'all never seen me be like before. There's no reason behind it. Oh, excuse me. There's not gonna be any context behind it. There's not gonna be any reason behind it. There's not gonna be any arguments. There's not gonna be any taking both sides of the spectrum. It's gonna be none of that. It's gonna be nothing that you are gonna see me turn into one of the most disrespectful people that you have ever seen when it comes to this fight game. You're gonna see because the with all the talk that he talked himself, and he loses to Jake Paul. No. You forfeited the right. You forfeited the right for me to have empathy. You forfeited the right for me to have, I feel bad, or let's take this into account. No, you forfeited that. All that talk that you talked about how great you are being the face of this sport, and you didn't go and you just bare minimum, you take this fight. Bare minimum, you took the fight. Already the worst offense you could ever, already the worst sin you could commit. For where you were right now. It was literally the worst possible option. And you did it anyway. Straight out of jail. When it seemed like all reports showed us, ESPN and others, you weren't training for Lamont Roach because of the dispute with the domestic violence case, and you couldn't get prepped in time for the Lamont Roach fight, so that's why that fight ain't happening. And now we see, oh no, that fight could have happened. That fight could have been signed at any given point between the day the allegations got announced and the day the charges got dropped. Any day it could have been signed. Any day. Any single day it could have been signed. And he of his own accord, not just did not sign it, but you signed the complete opposite fight that we know has no business being made in the slightest. Cutting the legs, not just from your legacy, but from your respect from the boxing world. Yeah. Now, you lose to this, there's the gloves are off for how we can talk about you. We can talk about you within the terms of the fight game. We can talk about you any type of way we want. If this happens, we can talk about you any kind of way we doggone well please. You lose this fight. We can talk about you any kind of way. You know why we said that he'll lose to Shakur Stevenson? Because you went to a draw with Lamont that was supposed to be a cherry pick. That you should have already been fighting Shakur in your next fight out. You could have. That's already why the conversation shifted. We can talk about you in that vein now because of the outcome of that fight. And now, this is a completely new level. It's a completely new level. Completely new level. Completely new. Brother, it's gonna get bad. Oh, it's gonna get bad. Brother, you ain't seen nothing yet. This chat, we might break 100 people. Now, for other streams, that might be the norm. For us, that'll be a big goal. If Tank loses, or regardless of which, after that fight with Tank and Jake Paul, if we can get the first show of that live stream, have 100 people on consistently, but that'll be the milestone I'm aiming for. Because they going to want to see exactly how we going to handle this conversation. Because it's going to get bad. It's going to be bad if Tank wins, absolutely. But if Tank loses, brother, oh my gosh. My goodness. It's going to be ridiculous and insane. But again, that's all we got to say on the matter. I think we're going to wrap it up. We ain't going to drag it any longer. And I appreciate you all tuning in. Again, if you want to support the channel, Cash App and PayPal, links down below. If you like what you're hearing, if you want to join the community, oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I almost missed somebody. Wait, hold on. Did somebody join? Where's it at? Hold on. Laughing your pants up. Hey, brother, you subscribe. Thanks for joining in. Hey, we got another one. Yes, sir. We got another one. Joining the army, joining this empire. We got another soldier in the empire with us on today in Laughing Your Pants Off. Hey, brother, hopefully you laughed. Hopefully you cried. Well, no, hopefully you didn't cry. Hopefully you just enjoyed, felt all the emotions with this show today. Again, normally we have a plethora of topics. Today was just the one thing that took up everything. And we couldn't get around it, sadly. We're going to be back here tomorrow talking about the world of boxing and beyond with you all driving the conversation in the championship rounds so you all can say whatever you want to say, bring up whatever topics you want to bring up, and have a conversation built on whatever you want to have for this show. We do that every Friday. And hey, we appreciate you joining, brother. Welcome to the Empire. Welcome to coming through. And we're happy. And hopefully you'll want to stick around because we do this every week. And it's so much fun. And I love it. But and with all that being said, we got to get out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. We appreciate all of you tuning in and listening to the show. Like I said before, if you can and you want to support the show, anything will do, as we don't have monetization yet. Cash App and PayPal, links down below as well in the description. Whatever you can give to help support this channel and help make it greater, it will be appreciated so much. Pound for pound, who were the top chatters of this stream? Number 3 was Kingdom Within. Number 2 was I think Employee Love. I think it was Sack. I believe was number 2. Hand down pound for pound. Number 1 commenter for the show today is Way of Ninja. Congratulations to you for being the pound for pound best of this episode today. And be sure to leave a like on the stream before you get out of here. Keep on subscribing if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know exactly when we post right here on YouTube. And also be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Comment your thoughts, opinions on what you liked or didn't like about this show as if you want to listen back to it. We're going to be available on every podcasting platform, Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. After, at the end of the day, once this show ends, and we're going back on Friday for the championship rounds. So, I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we are out of here. Yes, sir. We are going to see you all on Friday. Be safe, be blessed, and we out.